have to work, but then I like opened my computer and I saw I had 8 games queued, and it was like, oh crap, I might as well stream. Like I'm gonna play faster if I stream. Um, yeah, I need to start earlier in the day though, so when I have to leave, I still got some time. I got like some time to like actually play some games. I didn't even get to play all the games. Yeah, hopefully maybe Thursday in the afternoon as well. I'll play against Beans, but I always like to start playing the new factions against Friend Iridium. So Beans would have to agree to not play the new factions with me on Thursday afternoon, which might just be a little bit ridiculous. So we'll see about that. And Cloaks versus Sphere Avians. This is a fun matchup. I never like really considered it a classic because back when I first started these two, like I didn't really know what I was doing, and so it kind of just felt like weird, like it was way too easy to assassinate each other and whatnot. But I could see it being a lot of fun. Ooh, going aggressive. Uh, I'm definitely not getting gold before Thursday. Ah, well. Yeah, I was gonna try to make it into the top 10 for base stacks, and then I was just like looking at it yesterday, and I'm like, I'm 150 ELO away. Like, that's like at least a dozen games, and that's if I win. Like, Vlox says I've never had a worse hand. uh, that's just stream luck. First time on the stream. Gotta get those bad hands in for sure. My hand's pretty good, so sounds like a skill issue. Hmm. I only play on weekends, so it's slow going. Yeah, for sure. It's tough with I I try to do the opposite. I try to like sort of take weekends off, or like when I have a bunch of async games going, I'll try to oh no, I need to start my brush software. I'll try to like finish most of them. I'll try to not queue any more by like Wednesday or Thursday. So like by the time it hits the weekend, I only have like 4 games going or something. I know it's like only 4, but like when you have more than like 5 games going, you kind of like you need to be playing a lot of Summoner Wars to keep them up. This is kind of difficult. Okay, so Vlox goes here, push a gunner to here. I was thinking of Moto. I was thinking of smoke bombing something. Um, I don't really know what, to be honest. Um, could do like gunner, blocks, sniper, and like we put the sniper there. Could do blocks, gunner. Yeah, and then we put a sniper there. That's decent, right? Um, maybe we just summon another sniper? Nah, let's not. Let's not give him a target. Okay, let's do it. There's so many options with cloaks that it's always kind of tough. Good stuff. I don't think we're using the Smoto boots. I don't really see a reason to right now. Um, let's attack with the guild sniper. Well, let's attack with Vlox first. You've been spoiling yourself on the upcoming new cars. I have not. I'm like one of the most people. Most people look at them and have a problem. For some reason, I always think it's fun to just stay away from the spoilers and then just like to just pick up the deck totally cold. And my friend Iridium tends to do that too. So we'll both just be totally cold, never played them before. Um, and so I tried. I mean, I've gotten spoiled a few things. Like there was one card that like people were having a rules debate about, and I was like, a rules debate? I can't not chime into a rules debate. So I looked at that card. But in general, I mean, like I know a few things. Like I know Sundervid's ability. I know like roughly. I guess you've been spoiling. So like I know that they're I know their epic events of structure, so I know some things, but you know, I won't say any more because I don't really want to check the chat about it. I still want to stay blind. I'm weird like that. Uh, Vlox says that was a really strange opening on my part. Hopefully, it doesn't throw the rest of the game. It'd be like that sometimes. Like your opening move, you're just like, oh, that could be the game. That could not be the game. We'll see. Um, like sometimes how you start a game, how you keep going can really affect things. And like you'll get to the end of a game and be like, oh, it all came down to that 3-on-2 roll or something. And it's like, well, every single decision coming up to that has mattered too. I've been told I'm very excited for the set though, partially because I feel like the vibe of the faction reminds me of Shadow Elves and Wayfarers, and Shadow Elves and Wayfarers have been my favorite release yet. It's weird to say my favorite release because I love them all, and I like didn't think I'd ever say that, especially since I loved Fungal Dwarves and Eternal Council so much, but I just had the most fun playing with my friend Iridium. Like when the Shadow Elves and Wayfarers came out, I took Shadow Elves, they took Wayfarers. We played that matchup like 20 times, 30 times, I don't even know. Just over and over again. We just kept having fun. And I feel like it might be a similar vibe of like you got maybe like a Econ Dark faction and you got a big aggro faction. Like so maybe we'll have some fun with that. To see. That's rough. I mean, thank goodness didn't have a worthy. Yeah, so they had a pretty good counter for my shenanigans. Vlox is gonna run away. How about that? How about that? Do. Okay, well this is fun. I think we're gonna summon some things, and Vlox is gonna run away. Let's put Moto Boots on this gunner over here. Just so we can like get out of here. We're gonna move this sniper over here, and I don't really know what my plan is here. Am I just gonna leave the Sentinel be? Because that's kind of a bad plan. I was thinking of killing Cyruk this turn, but then the Sentinel gets to keep attacking me. Maybe I'm fine with that. Maybe I don't care. Maybe there's nothing wrong with that. Admiral coming up. I'm sorry, he's going to the discard pile. I'm sorry. I always feel bad, but it's gotta happen. I should really probably attack the Sentinel. I could also have the gunner push blocks to the side. Alright, I shouldn't take too long here. Let's go in the corner with you. I should probably kill the Sentinel, right? I should probably just kill the Sentinel. So let's just do our best with that. And I don't know, gate over here? Gate over here? Sure, let's do a gate over there. It's kind of weird for them to occupy. Good stuff. And we have to kind of hope to kill this. They're definitely catching me a little bit off guard with the aggression. Hopefully, we can damage control. Pretty important that this hits. Awesome. And so Cyruk is alive, so that kind of sucks, but Vlox is slightly safe. Yeah, Admiral's not like unplayable, or even really, he's not bad. It's just like a lot of the time I'm only playing him if I have some magic to spare, or I'll hold on to him if I need him for the econ game. He's not 6 magic is like kind of hard to get out, so if I draw him early, it's just probably not happening, unfortunately. Let's see if they can maintain this push. I'm forcing them to come back, and this gate kind of counters their gate to hopefully just like bottleneck their pressure before it begins. Yep, the steward will buff the heck out of Cyruk. So Cyruk is a pretty better than 4 melee dice on that sniper. So that sniper should be dead. We will see. Yep, and the gunner should be dead too. I mean, it's only 3 melee dice actually. It's only 3 range dice actually. Ooh, going for it. Are you gonna get Ava bonus on the steward? So otherwise, it's not no guarantee dice on Vlox. This is pretty scary for me. I don't know what to do here. I mean, Vlox might be able to kill. We're gonna have a pretty crazy Out of Shadows turn next turn, actually. I'm not sure. I don't think we'll have the assassination on Ava, but like Vlox might be able to kill Cyruk and then retreat to safety or something. Calming down. This has got to go 2-on-2. Okay, you got to have a Sky Assault. No way you do this without a Sky Assault because the odds of this going 2-on-2 is less than 50%. There's no way you're just like depending on that, right? If there was a way to make that 3 dice, like there was some sort of gathering song, like gathering song Sage here, some sort of battle song, or put Ava on that instead. You're very close, and especially if you have gates, Ava advancing could be very good. Though it's dangerous with the Machinist, but like if I was at 6 magic, it could be like Machinist plus dagger, but without that, I mean, it's a pretty great hand for us. Need a bit more magic to back it up. Goodness, I remember watching a Cloaks versus Sand Goblins game from HS1E, and they held onto a ton of snipers, and I was like so shocked. I'm just so used to tossing them into the bin. Steward. He's not even gonna try to kill the gunner. Just gonna Sky Assault. Makes sense. I mean, with a battle song, decent chance of lethal. Like this is honestly pretty crazy how well their offense has worked here. Like with a battle song, you could kill Vlox right now with a battle song and a Sky Assault. And that's pretty sweet. Yeah, I really hope that some of those other cards in their hand, like looking for gates, looking for battle songs, looking for Sky Assaults, all those would make this push viable. Um, Without it, it's a little bit tough. We'll just have to see. Maybe just staying here. Because if there's no Sky Assault, can always just, I mean, just like Cyruk attacks that, the Steward attacks the Gunner. Not bad. Battle Song here is very good. No attacks. Battle Song. Yep, that's 5 dice. 5 worthy dice on Vlox could spell the end of him. Could easily spell the end of him. Let's see it. Let's see it. Wow. Gotta message them about that. Could have killed him right there. Could have been the end of it. But yeah, that's always the risk you're taking. Okay, Machinist. I feel like the most amount of dice I could roll here is 6. Or sorry, so Machinist does 4, Ava, Vlox does 6, Sniper does 2 more. It's decent. We could end turn with like Machinist, um, Vlox, Gate, Sniper. They got a retreat. It's a decent position. Let's just go for it. Let's just go for it. Yeah, let's just go for it. And I repeat, let's just go for it. Anything smarter I could do? Nah, I don't need to be smart. I just need to win. Yeah, I'm still playing it a little bit dicey here. Still playing it a little bit dicey. And I really applaud you for your aggressive play here. Might not pay out, but like you really caught me off guard and had a pretty decent shot at this game. Wow, my dice are insane right now. All right. Oh, we do get another move. Interesting. I wonder, do I just move this gunner over? If I move it to the side, it can just kind of die. I don't know. Maybe let's just move it over. I mean, like they sort of they got to go out of their way to kill it there, but like I don't know. Might as well just like get it in here, you know? Oh, and the Machinist could pull it. Might as well even. Might as well pull it. Especially if we're getting close to lethal. I guess we have... Wow. Well, that pretty much guarantees it. Um, they had very unlucky dice, and we had very lucky ones. Wow, GG. GG. That's really funny. That was a very, very weird game. But yeah, they said they had a bad starting hand. I mean, it was a good push. I'm generally a very cautious player, so I would have avoided something like that, but big fan of that. So mean. I'm sorry. 10 out of 10 dice. Very mean. Yeah, got the kill, just trying to figure out the details. Yeah, I was like, you know what? Blocks can be only attacked on one side, so I'm just gonna roll some dice. I didn't actually expect to get it there. I did not, because it was like 12, 13 dice. Fun stuff. Quick game. Sorry about the luck there, but it's a very good game, and I mean it showcases these factions very, very well. Just 1 second. It's a nice message they posted in the content streaming channel. Um, all right, they say, uh, sorry, just 1 second, and then I'll start another one. They say nice rolls. You were dead next turn, haha. I can believe it. I can believe it. Also, we have an ongoing async too. Could play that out. Yeah, and we do have another game with them going asynchronously. All right, looks like we're gonna play another game. Just give us a second while we set that up, and then afterwards we'll chat about it a little bit. Summoner Scuffle gonna be between the two new factions. That I'll go ahead and spoil it here. This week is wait, just gotta make sure. No, I'm wrong. This week is between Bazo Formidable and Keen Bean. I haven't announced that yet. I should announce that soon, shouldn't I? Oh, I'm writing that on my list right now, actually. Too many things. There's so many things on my list. Gotta make like a funny graphic. I don't even yeah, I don't think they've chosen their factions. I imagine not. I mean, the scuffle in general, we're talking about like it sort of wants to be content of like this is what Summoner Wars is, or like this are fun thing. I mean, it would be fun. I don't want to like if either of them are uncomfortable playing those factions, I don't want to force them to. And like as commentary, it's going to be like, whoa, that looks cool. It's going to be a lot less like, okay, this is what this matchup is, and this is the range dynamic. Like, it's going to like I haven't read any of the cards yet, so it would be a lot like, whoa, what's going on? I have no idea. And so that's not usually what we've been doing, but I'm not opposed to it. It'll just come down to what the players want to do. Yeah, I should announce that. Um, um, okay, it looks like starting another game. I could play more cloaks. Nah. Yeah, Summoner Scuffle is the ultimate final word on which faction is better of the two showing. That that is true. Just enough with the tier lists. No more tier lists. We'll play one game and that will one faction to rule them all. Ultimate faction of all time. The Obsidian Dwarves. We're dwarving it. You're gonna get it now. You don't stand a chance. All right, do we play a demon? A little bit greedy. Kind of want to, though. Can you blame me? Demons are good. I mean, they're not, but they're good. I would like do an axe as well. I mean, maybe we do a chains on the guard and we just do one demon. That seems pretty decent. The Berserker is gonna kill our guard, but that's fine. We can also put a reroll on it. Seems like a pretty good opening. I think we do the willpower just for the extra dice. Yeah, seems good. Oh, just I say and then don't play willpower. This is what happens when it's a little bit late and I'm like it's funny because before I never played 45-minute games on the app. Wait, I want to re-roll that. And like so I just like every single move I make was like very processed just to like make sure that I don't make a mistake because I know it's so easy to like make a mistake in the app. Do I want to see what this roll is first? Let's see what this roll is first. And now that I'm like so comfortable playing 45-minute games and streaming it, it's like, oh, there's a gate in my hand that I didn't play. And it's like, that's unfortunate. Ah, well. That's a pretty good opening. Ember Demons are a lot better once I'm comfortable just like freaking killing my summoner. Once you accept with Balzar that the game you don't lose when your summoner dies, then you're better. When your summoner dies, it's just time for another game. You haven't lost. It's fine. Once you get behind that philosophy, you're doing good. Against Phoenix Elves, normally occupying their forward gate isn't necessarily as good because they can just use a Royal Guard to push your unit to the side. But see here, we have occupied all the spots. If you occupy 2 spots, so like this and here, now a Royal Guard can't just like push this guard into Maldaria. So it makes occupying this forward gate a little bit better. But even with that said, it's pretty good against Phoenix Elves too to just drop your gate in their 10 health gate spot. Um, Normally, it's against most factions, it's better to have your own unit there. I'm saying better as if I know what I'm talking, but like in general, it's my experience that like I end up feeling better having my own unit there than a gate there necessarily, just because like if they come down this line, now I like if they occupy this spot, I would rather have a unit here and a unit there to go at them. But there's some factions like Phoenix Elves where I'm pretty happy to have the gate there. I say this because a lot of times, like when I first played the game, I would like just start popping gates there in the 10 health spot, and it's good. But I found like in general, if you can find somewhere else for the gate, you'd rather have your own unit there. Like I find with like Cool Dock, like I'd rather have Cool Dock. This was a Cool Dock game, like Cool Dock here, a unit here, and my gate here or something. And I mean it varies faction by faction. Yeah, write that down. Yeah. That's all just from my own experience and gut instincts. Like what do I know? Um, that's really the thing that I love about Summoner Wars is like I don't know. Like I really just feel like the more every time I play, I just like I get a little bit better. My instincts get better. I don't feel like I need to read guides about this game to like get better at it. I really do feel like every time I play, I get a little bit better. And sometimes I'll have a feeling like oh, like I don't really know how I lost that game, but I still want to do it again because I feel like I can do it better. Like I don't really know why I ended up with the econ disadvantage, probably little things here and there, but I feel like if I do it again, I can do it better. And that feeling never leaves me. Test on Thursday. Um, Test how good my instincts are with some new factions. Be fun. Do. Burn. No, it's gonna die in my turn. Okay, well, we're definitely putting a gate there. I mean, we could put our own unit there. I mean, like, if we're really being... I mean, we could put our own gate there or something. Like, that wouldn't be bad necessarily. This also is a pretty good spot for a Berserker, though. It's a shame we can't axe it up. Sorry, I had a bit of a cough there. Because putting our own unit there, I mean, it still could be worth it to do a gate somewhere else. Hmm. So what are our options here? We could get Balzar in the mix. If we get Balzar in the mix, we've unfortunately kind of got to put one of our own units there. It would be like here, 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 and then we summon a demon there, or summon a guard there. If we don't, it would be like probably put the gate there. And demon goes there, guard goes here. Decent, it's all right. Was kind of hoping to make an engaged deck, but the cards don't seem to fully fall right. Interesting. I've seen people try like a high elves deck, like where it's just all about pushing and pulling. Friend Iridium's had some fun with that. I think Jack6 tried one too. It seems like the sort of thing you can have fun with. Yeah, I mean, in general, it's just even when there's just like a little bit of engage here and there, it still feels good. Okay, this turn feels pretty critical. I think that forward gate spot is pretty good for us, honestly. Like, it might be worth it. Let's see. Vlox says, gosh, I'm playing silly. I'm trying to get the screen brush so you don't have to see my Nonsense. Funny. Yeah, I guess the screen brush that I'm using helps. What is it? Is it really called Screen Brush? Yeah, it's called Screen Brush. That's the app that I use. Yeah, I feel like the forward gate would be nice here, so I'm gonna do it. Send a boost. And would I rather put the guard or the demon here? I mean, would I rather just have... I don't really need to like get dice on Mal here or anything. I might as well occupy their gate, I guess. Sure. Oh, I have willpower reroll, so that will pretty much guarantee that I get to kill the archer. All right, this is pretty good. We take this for sure. Oh, the problem with this gate is it becomes a lot harder to blow up their gate. That's why this is bad, as balls are. See, you see, like, I'm saying these things. You see, like, that's why it just, saying things is hard. Honestly, I think we just kill the archer. It feels kind of bad, but like I'm saying these things like, oh, against Phoenix Elves, it's good to put a gate there, but like as Balthar, it's actually pretty bad to put your own gate there because it really slows your own pressure. It's kind of forgetting about that. I'm pretty bad at Balthar. Yeah, I lost a game recently, like to the same mistake. Oh, playing too fast. I want to discard that. I lost a game recently at the same mistake. Like it's so much harder now. I can't like attack this gate with Balthar and whatnot. This was a huge mistake. Like as soon as I'm seeing this, Crumple's notes and like get rid of them. Awful, awful. There's a new fad every day. I feel so yeah. I feel like that forward gate generally works against Moldaria, but like here, like you want to be able to attack the gate with Balzar. You want to be able to blow it up with the volcanic blast. Like I want to just be able to threaten having Balzar here, and I'm really just getting in my own way with this forward gate. Um, There's something that you think I would have learned the last time I made this mistake, but I hadn't. But we're getting there. We're getting better. We're getting better at Balzar. Balzar has been a hard faction for me to pick up, but I think I'm getting better at it. I'd hope. Hopefully that guard survives. We can do some damage. Yes, we're gonna have to find another. I mean, like, it's not awful. Like, it's nice to be able to summon units there. It's gonna help with our pressure, but I think we can cover all our opponent's gate spots this turn. That'll be pretty good. Yeah, good stuff. We have the chains and the axe. Okay, yeah, this is gonna be pretty sweet actually. This is gonna be a pretty nice turn. I'm excited for it. We're gonna do Berserker to here, Berserker to here, Balzar to here. And that'll be that. Fully occupy their gates. Yeah. They're struggling here, like with unoccupied. I mean, like you don't want to just drop a bunch of random units that Balzar's gonna volcanic blast, but it's pretty easy for us to just cover the board right now. Yeah, they definitely want to discard heavy, look for some more gates and whatnot. You can get the extra gate against Balzar that really decreases your chance of just like losing immediately. To like Balzar blowing up your gate. Like Ma really wants like another gate back there or something. Good stuff. Vlox is typing. Yep. They say can't even breathe out here. I understand the sentiment. Can't say I can relate, but All right, pretty good roll. We'll go ahead and we're gonna keep our boot because we have so much pressure. I want to keep the pressure up and have 3 boosts. So gonna discard one. Normally I'd hold on to Oathsworn, but I think I don't need it. I think I'm sort of just, yeah, I think enough of my deck was units that I was probably going to draw another more units that I like. And at this point, we're going pretty heavy for just like the quick kill, so we don't need to worry about econ. Don't need to play our Oathsworn, just get him out there, beat him up. Well, yeah, that was another thing that sort of unlocks Balzar for me is just, well, I know I already said this, like just being comfortable damaging Balzar, just being like, you know what, this boost is going to be good for pressure. Realizing that my game is all about pressure and gotta get in there, gotta apply it. Yeah, good luck with this turn. That's funny. Balzar. Balzar's fun. Balzar is so much fun. I'm so glad. Like, I really just did not understand him when he first coming out. Came when he first came out. I feel like this is what I always say whenever I'm playing Balzar. But it's just like I just did not. I just thought he was so bad. I was just so confused. I was like, I always lose the late game. It's because I wasn't applying pressure. It's like Wayfarers. Like Wayfarers can win the econ game, but they gotta apply pressure. And Balzar just has a different and scarier way of applying pressure. Alrighty. Um, that guy's dead. This should be game. What's that? 6 health? You should be about dead over here. Do I need to play around things? I guess Oathsworn for extra boosts probably couldn't hurt. Um, uh, They're saying I was dead this turn, no matter. They said I can't believe my plan kind of worked, but I was dead this turn no matter what. You're gonna laugh when you see my cards. I believe it. I'm excited for it. Oh wait, I want to do more moves. Let's go. Let's get up there. You know what? Let's stay out of burn range actually. Should I mean we should have a kill here, but in case we do not, um, attack. And that's GG. Fun stuff. Didn't show us the animation. That's sad. We didn't get the satisfaction. GG. Summoner Zone finally put out the High Elf strategy guide, did they? Good stuff. I think Water D writes a lot of those. I don't know who, like, Massimo doesn't always give credit. He should. Um, he sometimes forgets to write, like, who's doing it. I mean, Watered has, like, good instincts for. Oh, I see. It's not. They don't put them under articles. Where do they put them? Under factions. Oh, I see. Does Watered like write one for every single everything here? Um, yeah, I'll hop in. Should I? Yep. Just gonna do a call with Vlox here. Where's the strategy guide? Oh, there's a strategy guide. Awesome. Okay, I'm not gonna read it, but I'm glad it's here. Maybe at some point. Starting to chat over here. Hey, how's it going?
Oh, that hit me right in the face. Oh, it's going well.
Oh, good,
Yeah,
good.
I knew I was gonna have like audio issues that I'd have to tweak. Um,
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, you sound a little bit quiet on my end. I can pretty easily turn you up.
I I had a good reading from the Discord portion of it where it was sensing just the sensitivity
Yeah,
of my
I
normal talking voice, and yeah, I can turn it up. Otherwise,
no, I can. It's pretty easy for me to turn it up too. If everything seems good on your end, I don't. I'm still pretty new to audio stuff in general as well. So, um,
I used to make a lot of music back in the day,
oh,
and
awesome,
so I have a
awesome.
bunch of leftover kind of artifacts from that part of my life,
Yeah,
which like comes.
yeah,
uh,
I have a friend who just like finished school, like becoming a music producer and whatnot. And so I asked him, I've been asking him so many questions about like buying microphones and stuff like that because I have no idea. Uh,
Well, I've seen through your channel, your videos get a little bit clearer and clearer, like as you progress through and
that's
put some
good.
time into it. You can
I
tell
want to hear
it's
that.
yeah. But my favorite part is you always wondering if it's good or not.
I don't have a good system for it. I need a because I never I'm using OBS. Sorry, I know we should like talk and introduce ourselves, but like I'm using
Oh,
OBS
for sure.
and I never know like I see the bar of the person I'm talking with, but I'm never actually sure if it's they're too quiet or too loud, and sometimes it's deceptive. And I need like I need like an audio mixer on my computer to like be able to like hear an instant playback just to like know exactly how everything sounds. But that's complicated.
Are you- yeah. Okay, we'll do the introductions.
Yeah, yeah. Sorry.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, this
Yeah,
is I don't know. You prefer to go by Vlox for now or
yeah. Vlox or Charles, whatever you
you
prefer.
know,
I'm
Vlox.
definitely gonna change my name. Um,
You got
like I
got a
chose
name
Vlox
tag
just
that says
because.
Blocks or Charles. Sorry, yeah, go ahead.
uh, yeah. So no, it's funny. My girlfriend was asking me because I had her join Discord just to get a feel for my audio level from her phone. She's like, "What is even a Vlox?" Oh, you don't want to know. It's That's a long story.
It's
Anywho,
yeah.
yeah. So Vlogs gonna change my name hopefully here soon. So to be continued. But yeah, I I fell in love with Summoner Wars about a couple of months ago when one of my closest buddies had shown me the board game, which I was infatuated with. I grew up playing HeroScape. That was a big part of my life, and I think it's my understanding that like some of the people who worked on HeroScape kind of transitioned into Plaid Hat or the producers of the board game itself. And
Yeah.
there's little remnants of that that you can see within the game that are reminders kind of my childhood. Um,
Oh, that's
so
awesome.
yeah, I love turn-based games just in general. I don't know if there's a turn-based game that I wasn't really that fond of. Some of the ones
Yeah.
that I think of immediately are XCOM or Final Fantasy, um, Fire Emblem, those types of things. Really, I don't know. It tricks something in my brain that is just obsessed with having to min max. What is the best possible thing that I can do in a given instance?
Yeah,
I feel like you can relate. So yeah,
for
how do you
sure.
feel about that?
For sure.
Like to a detriment,
With like
almost.
yeah, with games that I'm playing.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean like that
yeah,
sort of always is board games for me. And I mean that is like
yeah,
every I mean that sort of is like every system and every board game. A lot of times the entire game is like min-maxing. And I love just like as like the min-maxing game never you're never being finished. Like there's no like maybe there's someone out there who's played 10,000 games of Summoner Wars that like is very confident that they can find like a
Mm,
95% perfect line every time, but like boy am I so far from that even after playing so much. Like I love Spirit Island. It's like a cooperative game, and you play a spirit, and like you play a spirit a dozen times, and it's like you still feel like you've barely even like scratched the surface of like you can just get a lot better. And I love lots of other games
I
like
love that.
Gloomhaven. And yeah, I played Hearthstone like a decade ago, and like I like the
I was
vibe.
obsessed.
Yeah,
It's so
yeah, go
much
ahead.
different, but yeah, no, I just I resonated with that because a lot of time and a little bit of money put into Hearthstone, but especially Magic that got me like that got me really good.
Yeah, yeah, I
And
mean,
they're also
yeah,
different, but I don't know, kind of the friend group that I've fallen into as I've gotten older really circles around that type of activity. Um,
yeah,
really
yeah.
prioritizing centering around a table and, making jokes, making fun of each other, and just having a good time.
That's awesome. Yeah, I'm always looking for people to play board games with in person. And because like there's so many like shops around there, and everyone plays Magic, and like Magic is great, but want to play other things.
I burnt myself out on it, and something you had said previously resonated with me, which is, somebody out there has spent 10,000 hours and they can get a 95% perfect win rate every single time. But as I get closer to what I perceive as perfection, the less interested that I get in the game.
Mm,
It's something about struggling through it and learning, always striving to, what if I put a gate in a different place? It changes the entire game.
yeah,
Looking back on it and realizing those types of things, it,
yeah,
yeah, it's like compounding errors in this. I think it's just
for
a
sure,
beautiful way
for
that it
sure.
plays out, and the asynchronous nature of it was the sell for me.
Oh
Uh,
yeah, just because
Trying to get
it's easy to
my
play.
girlfriend to play like the board game, it's just too long. Um,
Yeah,
but we could play on our phones with each other um, if she felt inclined. So
yeah,
that's why,
that's really good.
yeah, I really appreciate it. Yeah.
Yeah,
Why is it not a mobile app?
it's gonna be soon.
I've, as if I recall, that was like a two years ago or something thing that it's always kind of been in the works.
Yeah, if you like,
Um,
they have some article from like a few years ago that's like Steam version coming soon, and it's like no, it's so sad. But like Joe made a post recently. It's like they have it running on an app, but they need to like bug test and what. So it seems like it's top of the list at this point. So hopefully soon,
cool.
hopefully for real this time.
On that note, I don't even know if I should say this on the call, but I saw in the Discord the other day something about Doug or D.O.U.
Yeah,
Hacking and like being able to mess with whatever you can see from the browser point of view, like maybe what the opponent's cards are left in the deck or what's in their hand. And I was curious if you knew anything more about that. If
huh? I did
like you can
not.
use the Chrome Inspect tool to see a lot of stuff behind the scenes that you wouldn't know unless you're really handy with that, or if you work in software engineering, which
Huh?
um,
Yeah.
I've fallen into. So I immediately am like, oh, I wonder if I can see the opponent's deck, or can I see their hand? Can I investigate through the available
I
tools?
mean, I'm sure
Um,
like Joe would love for like that in the sense of bug testing. Like if you figure out a way in, like email Joe, and I'm sure he'd like
yep.
love to know how you did it and how to prevent it. Because I think he's talked about that. Like there used to be like an
Mm,
issue with like Summoner Wars first edition with the app where like
yep.
if you turned off your internet, you could just like play through and like see what the dice were gonna be. And so then you would can play your turn knowing what the dice
Mm,
rolls are gonna be. And so he said they did something different this time around. So like information that the player isn't supposed to have is somehow, I don't know anything about computers, but it's
mm.
somehow stored somewhere else than where they have
It,
immediate access
yeah.
to. But it wouldn't. I mean, maybe there's still a way to hack it. So I don't know.
As far as I can tell, it's pretty foolproof, and maybe Doug's got a better handle on it than me. I'm not like a security specialist
Yeah.
whatsoever. I was like, this website looks kind of janky. Um, I bet I could figure out a way. just through inspecting it to see what cards are available, but it's specifically designed in such a way that it's making a request at every single turn, pulling back a packet of data, and that data is only the exposed data that you can see from your personal point of view. And that's
Yeah,
part of the reason why you can't see the other person's point of view when you do a playback,
I see.
because you would
Yeah,
get access to some of the information that's private to that account.
I see. Yeah, I mean
Yeah,
that makes sense.
yeah.
It seems like Joe has tried to code it that way. So
Yeah, I'm really impressed because I thought for sure. I've never tried to like look into a website before, but it just seems so dated, and I still love it.
it does.
It's
It's
like we could
so
use a modern
yeah.
framework or
Yeah.
um, so
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Uh, what else? I like making music, playing guitar,
That's awesome.
board games, um, volleyball. That'd be my main sport. Is what I do. So yeah,
That's
all over the place.
that's all good things. No, I love that. I love it's always
Yeah,
certain. I don't know. I don't know if it's normal for music nerds to be board game nerds. I feel like I've encountered quite a few. I mean,
that's like most of my core friend group at this point.
it's
I don't know
both that.
if you like the disparate, like some friend groups do certain activities, whether that's going out and drinking,
Yeah,
partying, and then you have certain friends that are kind of board game folk and
that's where I land
prefer being at home.
for
Yeah,
sure. Yeah, I guess there's
it
like this.
depends.
There's a stereotype of like the board gamer is loving to play like ultimate frisbee, and I fall into that. That's the only sport I'll play.
It's so much
Uh,
fun.
It,
I'd
it,
get gassed pretty quick though if I was doing that again.
yeah, I'm not good at it, but it's
Mm.
fun. I mean, and I like to like just like I don't know. So many sports people like just I feel like have the wrong mindset about playing a game and just like we
Mm.
have to win, otherwise I feel like crap. And it's just like
That
just play it, you get better, have fun.
I like that you brought that up because I was thinking I don't know if you resonate with it at all, but I I normally don't do competitive things, I guess outside of volleyball, even though it's like a co-ed recreational low tier type thing. It's not that I'm avoiding competition or it's I'm not in the days where I'm playing Call of Duty anymore every day, like that type of thing. It's more stressful now. But I
Yeah.
found something comfortable about um, the interaction between one other person and the kind of head-to-head match, uh, exactly like how I fell in love with chess a few years
Mm-hmm.
ago when it was picking up again. And it's similar to chess in a lot of ways that are hard to describe, and so different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
So,
interesting. Yeah, and this is well. So I feel like we could just talk for hours. It's so much fun talking with you. Do you have any thoughts about this game though, or either of the games that we played?
so uh, tell me what would be the best way. Uh, I suppose there isn't a way that you could see my point of view from the
Um,
original. Since the stream already saw your cards, I'm wondering what
there
the best way to share.
very likely is not. So like I could try something right here. Because usually if I view it as like another observer, sometimes I'll get to see your hand since the game is done, but a lot of times I would not. So if you
What do you
just if
mean
you
as another observer?
so I can
Yeah.
log in as another account that like also has
Yep.
logged into someone who was online, and then when I go to this game link, it's gonna just one of us it has the perspective.
Random.
I don't know if it's random or if it's
Wouldn't it be based off of your IP address? But from
have no
the, I know
idea.
for a fact that from like the, if you're jumping back and forth between your laptop and your computer, your phone, they all have different session keys. So each one that you join, will have to re-log in and create a new session. So I'm surprised that logging out and logging in, uh,
Yeah. No,
reorients
it
it to
won't. So like
the person.
each game has an orientation assigned to it, like a spectator orientation. So like
Sure.
if the orientation is towards me, if you're the only person that can ever rewatch the game from your perspective is going to be you. Um, and that's just
Oh,
and Joe has said that they want to add a ability to switch spectator orientation at some point, but there isn't right now. But if you want to if you have like a specific turn you're thinking about, I can just click on it and you can tell me what your cards were and whatnot.
We um off the top of my head, just with the the Obsidian Dwarves game. Oh, I was so excited for you to see how bad I drew in both games, but
let's
in
hear
that one
it.
specifically, you got the run on me. All right, let me pull up game on my end.
Yeah,
I'm not watching stream right now either, so I'm not sure
so-
if you have it up. So I'll tell
sounds
you the
good.
turn.
Yeah, no, I have it
Turn
up right
one.
now. Okay. Yeah, I can go
Okay.
there.
So you get the drop on me pretty quick here.
Yeah.
Um, you got all of my units right off the bat. When I when I saw that, I think I was typing in the Discord and I came back and I was like, "Oh no,
Yeah, I
what
feel
am I
like that
gonna do?"
sometimes.
And I probably misplayed it, but I'm gonna pause it as it gets to my turn and then reassess maybe what I had done wrong because might have been which units I picked or their placement.
Yeah.
Okay, so looking at my hand now coming onto my turn, I have two Ember Mages, Archer, a Guardian, and a Burn. So
Okay.
I was trying to think of I have a Burn, I'm being swarmed. I have to find a way to use that. Was at least my intention,
Hmm.
and I don't know that I used it effectively enough, but I'm pretty sure I threw it on the guard.
Yeah. Yeah, you
Okay.
did.
I have two Ember Mages. I'm very quick to discard at least one if it's in my first hand. I would think about discarding two depending on the matchup. Uh, the Obsidian Dwarves have a proclivity to hit pretty hard, especially if they're geared up. But I don't know. What do you think? Is an Ember Mage a good unit to hold against the Dwarves?
Against Obsidian Dwarfs, yeah, I'd say so. I mean, they'll get
Mhm.
destroyed by volcanic blasts, but that's the only thing that'll blow them up, and I mean that'll blow up anything anyway. Because Obsidian Dwarfs don't really have any ways of doing direct damage besides the volcanic blast or like ping damage, and they don't have ways of getting extra attacks. So I think
Mhm.
that's probably pretty strong. Yeah, if I would say anything, if I would propose any other like different play, I mean, like I like burning the
Mhm.
guard just because it's gonna die. I'd say like maybe against obsidian dwarves, you're worried about like just not letting them overrun you. So something like having Maldaria like attack the berserker and burn the berserker, and then
Yeah,
just like summon a unit up into that spot just to like hold me off on that left side and also hold me off on the right side. You might not get as many
I
kills.
messaged you the
Yeah.
same thing. Well, at the time, I had said, "Oh my gosh, I played that so goofy." I was like, "Why? Why did I just move up to get a burn, cut an attack out of my line?" I mean, in certain scenarios, it's fine to not get your three attacks in, if it means a critical play. In my head, it was opening up the gate
Yeah.
where I would not have been able to get that gate free if I didn't burn it. But yeah, I should have attacked the berserker and guarded, and then I could have kept at least like the left side open.
Yeah.
But let's move to your turn three here.
Okay. We can watch this.
I was fully expecting to not be able to kill those units too, in the way that I did. That they were guarding me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, and the gate that comes down and blocks the front. Yeah, that's cruel.
It is. So the funny story
It's
about
so
that gate,
cruel.
like I was talking with Hargrata in chat, and I was like being like, oh yeah, so against Maldaria, forward gate blocking the gate seems pretty good because like she's like because there's always like sort of the discussion of like, would you rather have a unit blocking your opponent's forward gate or your own gate? And against Maldaria, she often has ways of like pushing your unit out in front of the gate. I don't know. It's a boring, silly discussion, but the funny thing, I made all this discussion. I was like, yeah, I think the gate here is going to be better than just putting a unit there. And then right after this turn, I was like, wait, No, this is the thing that I did wrong last time. Like when Balzar puts a gate in front of your gate, suddenly I've kind of blocked my own pressure. Like really with Balzar, I want to be able to attack your gate and blow it up with Volcanic Blast if I need to, and I'm sort of cutting
Mm,
myself out. So I think I regret placing that gate. I mean, it worked out for me in the end, but I think I would have preferred to keep that spot open so I could put more pressure onto your gate. That's what I should have
I'm
done.
curious, where would your units have landed if you left it open? Because you probably would have went with that attack with Balzar anyway.
Um,
Perhaps if
y-
it meant killing the Guardian,
um,
maybe you would have pulled it out and left the front open, or
Yeah, I
let me
mean,
pull it
I think I
back.
would have just summoned any unit and put it in front of the gate, and I would have had Balzar attack the Royal Guard, and then after Balzar attacks the
Mm,
Royal Guard, it summons a guard in front of it, and hopefully
yep,
that guard kills the archer or something. I don't like. There's downsides to this
this
play
was
too.
hopeless. From-
I mean,
yeah,
if you're able to keep the pressure off, if you're able to keep the Obsidian Dwarf's pressure off, like Mal's got a pretty good chance. Like Mal's probably getting more value in general than Obsidian Dwarves, and so like if you're just able to stay alive and like not get like
yeah.
all of your units to die in one volcanic blast, it's definitely tough, especially when Baldur has the jump on you. But you're not out of the game at this
I
point.
reckon that the next game would not be um, nearly as poor. I mean, it's not even about me going first or second. Um, my hand. It's just when I drew into, let's see, if it
Yeah,
would
let's hear
be
it.
turn 4 for me. Um, yeah, turn 4. Let me just make sure I'm on the right
Yeah,
one.
yeah,
Yeah. So okay. So my second go around here, I drew 3 Ember Mages. I discarded pretty much everything. You'll see about 5 cards in my discard. And you discarded pretty heavy too. Three
yeah.
Ember Mages, Guardian, and Phoenix. It's not the worst, but it's not a gate,
That
and
is
it's
true.
not it's not a gate, and it's not something that can kill another unit the same turn to create that gap that I may have needed. But I was happy to have the Phoenix because that meant that I could probably get a kill by pushing with the Guardian.
Yeah.
Yeah, let me know if you think that I'm misplaying at any point.
Yeah,
To
can I hear your hand one
it's
more
hard.
time?
Oh, sure, sure. Okay, so
For turn
going back
4.
to yeah, so 3 Ember Mages.
Okay.
Um, oh, yeah, I don't have an open gate. That's why it was funny.
That
I
yeah,
don't have
that's basically.
a place to. Okay, three
Yeah,
Ember Mages. I got Phoenix and Guardian,
yeah, guard. Yeah, I guess
which
I'm
I love
asking for your hand
that
here, and then I'm
hand.
like, wait, you
I
can't
love.
summon anything. Sorry, go ahead.
No, no. So I would not be upset with this hand if I had an open gate or
Yeah,
like 2 slots to play units. I
yeah,
can work with that. Yep.
yeah.
That was kind of cold.
That's really funny.
um, how,
Yeah,
did you
it'd be
feel
like
like
that
your hands
sometimes.
were working for you, or this is just average Obsidian?
I think that was a pretty good opening. Let me look at it again. Like, I mean, being able to wipe your board, definitely most Obsidian Dwarfs hands can't wipe that board. I guess, yeah, I mean, I just said everything about like regretting that forward gate, but I don't think I could have without doing my like forward gate play. I don't know if I could have like blocked off your spawn spots as effectively. So maybe I'm just totally wrong
Mm.
about that, and that was the play. And yeah, having that forward
If
gate,
yeah,
you not having a forward gate, I think that all favored me a lot.
I do think it worked out. And you can make an argument one way or another.
Yeah,
If I was able to overcome it and bring myself back, maybe you would have regretted it. But
for sure, for sure.
it held me off and kept a unit that you can continue putting pressure on, which was the death of me for sure.
Yeah, yeah. And if
Um,
you how many cards you hold 2 cards in hand at the end of that at the end of turn 4 going into turn 5.
yeah.
I mean, because like
Yep.
maybe if it's and like maybe if you're like depending on how scared you are, maybe you drop them all just to try to get a gate or something. But that can always that could always bite you too, and just feel like, oh, I wish I hadn't dropped all those
I
cards.
figured that was a death sentence. I kept 2 Ember Mages.
You kept two Ember Mages. I mean, like how many champions do you think
Those
were
are
in
my
your?
last 2 Ember Mages. That's why I kept them.
Yeah,
I didn't because and the other thought I had was that Ember Mages would be particularly good against Obsidian Dwarves. And I was like, what am I going to dump every single one of these just
yeah,
to draw into beasts that I can't um,
yeah,
necessarily.
yeah.
I don't know.
That's fair. Yeah, my
I,
I might have discarded another one, but that's also just
another
me.
one.
Yeah, and I mean, and
I
when
had
I'm
the
giving
same thought.
advice, like, I mean, take it all with a grain of salt. Like, I can be wrong about anything. Just chatting
No,
about
you're
it.
reflecting my exact thoughts. I'd never take something like that personal, but
Yeah, good, good, good.
I had the same thing. I sat there at the end of my turn, waiting to see if I was going to discard the fourth one,
Yeah,
or did it even really matter? I mean, let's go into your turn.
yeah. I mean,
What do you have in
there's a
hand
decent
going into turn?
chance. There's a decent chance I personally would have been so scared that I discarded both of them and seeing like, oh, I have 18 cards in my deck. Like, I'm gonna be fine. I have other things I can play. But I understand holding it as well. Let's see.
I
So
had 2 Phoenix and 2 Retribution, like just things that work well in combination. Actually,
yeah, yeah.
I should have just discarded it all and just hoped for a gate.
uh,
That would have been the play in
yeah,
hindsight.
and if you still got champions and whatnot, like you're at least not shooting yourself in the economic foot. Yeah. This next
Maybe
turn.
the dragon would come out. Yeah, tell me.
Yeah, maybe the next turn. Yeah, I was no, I definitely had good hands this turn. Like I haven't drawn a champion yet, which is like pretty good because I don't know the magic for it. I have an Oathsworn, a Berserker, a Volcanic Blast, and then both Hellforged Chains and Hellforged Axe. I mean, you get to see most of that hand, I guess, by the end of it. Except for yeah, so I hold
Yeah.
the Volcanic Blast and I play every other card. And at that point, like this is
It's
exactly
yeah.
this is what I want. It's tough. I mean, it's not. It's like I like it's not out of the question. You could come back from this, but it'd be tough. It'd be real tough.
I, yeah, with your position going into that turn, I wonder what could have even been done, what I could have drawn. Hoping for bad rolls is always a possibility. That's the beauty of the game. Um,
Yeah, exactly,
you
exactly.
can be a really good player and roll bad, and everybody's got a fighting chance.
Yeah,
But I I don't think it's fair to say that that the odds of the game, the percentages of things, take away from it for whatever reason.
I
Everybody's got a preference, but
yeah.
um, it would be so stale. It would be it'd be Hearthstone if you just hit for whatever.
Yeah, well, and there's so many ways to like in my personal opinion, I think the like variance adds so much to it because like personally, chess is too much for me. Chess is overwhelming. Just being able to plan that far in advance, it's just like I just can't do it. Or I just don't enjoy doing it. Like this game adds like somehow it's the perfect amount of variance that like it still feels like when I lose, it's my fault, but like you also I don't even know how to I don't know how to describe it. I think like it makes it more so instead of like planning out
I
every
understand.
turn, like you just have a general strategy and you try to execute that general strategy and you have to account for it's like okay, like I want to if it has two unit has 2 health, I want to be throwing at least 3 melee dice if it's an important target to kill, stuff like that. I don't know. There's a lot you can do to account for
Do you have
variance
a?
in this game. Go ahead.
I love that. Yeah, and I'm a numbers guy. I got a math degree, so I nerd out over
Yeah,
stuff like that. The percents, what
for
are the
sure.
odds?
For sure.
Playing towards my odds. Do you have a good feel for what the statistics are for each roll? What the likelihood of you hitting?
I
Like
think
just
I
for your common dice, like 3 melee, 2 range,
I
two
think
three.
I'm sure if you test, I mean, it'd be fun. You should test me, and I'll get a bunch of it wrong. I feel like I do like just instinctually. I'm like I have a sense for like what I can count on and what I can't, and like I mean I've looked at the charts, and at some point, like I never really took a statistics class, but I watched a bunch of YouTube videos so I can go through like the binomial whatever it is to like do the algorithms for calculating the summoner Wars dice charts. Oh, my stream's having issues. No, we're
Right.
back to good. But so yeah, like something like
You have a good feel.
yeah, like 3 melee dice. It should hit two. I don't know what the percentage of that not hitting two. I think it's like probably 5% or less of 3 melee dice not hitting
Yeah,
two.
and then you probably have the same suspicion about range dice too, though. Like, oh,
Yeah,
I have 3 range dice. I'm going to center my turn around the expectation that I hit that and move other units to different
yeah.
threats.
The like range dice are slightly
Do
different. Like
you
range
lean on
dice.
the cautious?
Sorry, go ahead.
It's one side of a six-sided die worse. So,
Yeah,
1 and 6 is the subtraction from the overall odds, which is it, at the end of the day, like I'd have to look up the the number generator to see what it all totals up to, but more often than not, significantly more often than not, you can depend on it. And that's why it's tough watching the games where you see these legends uh, play so well and then lose to the dice. Because if you're a fan of the game, you'll know, oh, he should have hit that, or she should have
yeah,
got
yeah,
at least 2 dice there.
yeah.
So,
Yeah,
do you want to peek at that first game at all too, or we
yeah,
could move to
yeah, for
play
sure.
a new one?
Yeah,
Mhm.
whatever you want to do, I'm happy to. You want to take a peek?
Sure. I think it was just another scenario where I looked at my hand and I was like, "Ooh, this is it's gonna be
Yeah, I'm
fun game
curious.
here."
I'm
And I
curious to
played a
hear.
goofy opening too.
Yeah, for
Okay.
sure. Yeah, and one more thought about the dice thing about like what you can count on and whatnot. I think like range dice probably took like the longest for me to feel comfortable with, and I'll still my instincts will be wrong. Like three range dice, it's only a 75% chance to do two damage, and so you get very used to like three range dice. It can miss two damage. You have to be comfortable with that. And even like when I roll four range dice, I still kind of expect it to hit three, but I think like the odds of it hitting three are like 60% chance or something. And so like
It has diminishing returns for each dice that you add, and that's why people feel so. They make jokes or memes about Edia because you'll be rolling 8 dice and hitting 2 of them are
yeah,
just significantly different than a smasher coming in and clocking you for a melee uh, of that strength.
yeah. Okay, so I pulled up the previous game. I was actually able to look at your hand this time. Um, so I can see what you're up against here.
Come over to the stream now.
You say you're pulling up the stream.
Okay.
Yeah, good stuff. I mean,
Okay.
I can hit play.
My opening. As I wanted to get rid of one of the sentinels and put it in action, and the
Yeah.
only way to hit is to move that forward.
Yeah, I mean like
But it can't get on its own, so like, I
sorry,
have to
say
move
that
it.
one more time.
Yeah, so I've had 3 sentinels and figured, well, I'm probably gonna discard at least one, probably 2 of these,
Yeah.
and maybe both of the divers too. I generally don't keep those unless I can map out from Ava's position 2 squares away where it might be worthwhile. And those squares are taken up by the steward and the sentinel at this moment, so I got rid of all of it. Very aggressive.
Yeah,
Um, what do
I
you think about that? Was that a
no,
misplay?
I'm a fan of that, honestly. Like I I was thinking like I think more likely, well, I again I can't say things objectively, but I think more likely I'd expect like someone to like hold a lot of that and for that to end up biting them. Yeah, I'm if I was in that position, there's a good chance I was ditching all four of those cards or at least three of them. Um Probably
Would you
like
have kept out of that diver or sentinel? Was there anything?
I might have kept a
One,
I might have kept a
yeah.
sentinel if I wanted to play aggressive. If I like the more I play Ava, the more passive I start to play with her. And I mean that's sort of a different conversation, but like you being so aggressive like really paid off. Like normally I don't see people play so aggressive with Ava here. It really paid off for you. You almost got the kill. You really caught me off
Yeah.
guard. So I mean
This
that
was a
worked
good
well.
game.
It definitely
You
was.
got what you needed to. you got your out of shadows,
Yeah, we
and
showed off all the tools in like 10 minutes.
did you have the OOS from the start by chance? Did you
I
hold
did
on
not
to
know. I'll see when I drew it. I think I drew it the turn I played it or something. But yeah, no, I'm a big fan of the big discards, for sure.
it? Yeah, it depends on the faction, um, or who you're playing. Like people play differently, so you
Yeah.
might discard differently playing against Jaxic as you would with me. If I'm discarding heavy, maybe you're more inclined to as well.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. And I sort of love that. Like I love to see new people play factions in different ways. Um, and let's see. Yeah, this next turn you brought out Cyruk immediately.
When
Um,
you smoked that sniper, I was like, that's a shame. I wasn't going for that.
yeah, I was kind of hoping you didn't have the nuts on me. That was such a good response. Yeah, looking at this again, it's like that's the perfect response to that. Like you if you I feel like I was in a good spot if you didn't have the sky assault, but there's a decent chance you have it, and boy was that not what I wanted.
And Cyrook, I mean, I couldn't have had a better.
Yeah, that's
I don't know what else I would have needed. Maybe a gathering, and it would have been perfect.
yeah. No, very happy with that. Maybe I would have discarded that sage just because I need to keep up the pressure. I love playing every single sage, so I definitely get holding it.
I
But
I try to hold one more than what I have. Generally,
for
they're
sure.
picked off all the time, and gosh, if the Sentinels aren't terrible without having a little bit of a damage boost,
Yeah.
it,
Yeah.
they're they're better than other two French dice, but slightly.
Yeah, no, I'm a huge fan of them. I think like what I'd weigh here is like, do I need the 3 magic to keep up the pressure next turn? Like because you're just getting in there and like 3 magic, like that's a sage plus another unit. If you draw that, and maybe that helps you draw towards a gate, like a forward gate could help you out. So like no, if I'm playing in the back, yeah, I love to hold on to my sages. They're such good value. I love to play all of them. But being so aggressive, maybe I'd
Mhm.
discard it. But again, what do I know?
You were totally right. I wait. It's that's too funny because you're reflecting my exact opinion. I, I I sat there thinking about whether or not I'd get rid of it, and I
Yeah.
said, "Well, it was a mistake if I draw into another sage," and I do.
Yeah, the universe tells you whether it's a misplay or not. I always feel like that. The very next card too. It's been ordained. Yeah, yeah. I mean, like I love how discard decisions in this game are so hard. I mean, there's just so many small decisions you make throughout a turn. None of them are that complicated, but they all add up. Tough to know,
I'm not
but
a big fan of Guildford. I played,
yeah,
quite a bit of the birds, and Guildford's only come in and made 5, magic worth of value very few times. Its stat line is a bad for what it's worth. A
yeah,
5 cost for a 3/7
yeah,
compared to other factions, what they get for their 5 cost.
yeah.
Bully can be the game changer for moving a unit out of the way
Exactly. Yeah,
so
my
that you
thoughts
can snipe.
exactly. Yeah, I mean, that's
Yeah, it's so
basically,
niche. And getting a bully that pushes 2 units and those both happen to help you somehow has not happened to me yet. And I'm sure somebody has a cool play on the
yeah.
Discord, but
Yeah, I mean,
it seems like. But
yeah, that's my thoughts exactly. Like any card that can force a summoner is a card that has a place. Like, I don't know, like what
oh, sure.
Brutal Force can force summoners. I don't really, is there any other card besides Brutal Force and Guildford that can search force summoners? Maybe there's, can't think of one.
Can the breakers maybe?
No,
No, I don't think
breakers don't
so.
have anything. That's like a huge limitation of them is it's always comets and champions, no summoners. But yeah, like I have never I have played Guildford, but like I've never played him and been like, oh boy, I'm so glad I played Guildford. but like you're just like surely bully is a good ability. Yeah, I wonder if you're on the right track though with just like the stat line just isn't good enough. Like maybe one more health or something. I don't know.
I'd be all about him if he was 3-8. But
Interesting. Yeah.
he spends more time in the trash than he does on the field in my games, and
Mine as well.
I played him enough to give him a feel and just generally lean towards more commons. The commons are great when you have a bunch of them out. Like a board full of birds is terrifying.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, and it feels like avians in general it's tough to play all your units. Like they're all pretty expensive. Um,
Mhm.
and so
And
it's usually Cyruk or
Sage
bust.
is a pretty bad unit, but it turns the steward into one of the best 2 costs.
Yeah.
One way that this might help you to think about the way that the stewards work when they have strong is that they roll a little bit better than a melee dice. So I
Mhm.
count when I'm counting the dice for what I'm rolling for a steward as though it were melee plus. Technically, you can do double damage, but that almost never happens.
Yeah. Yeah, makes
Um,
sense.
yeah. And I'm putting like a document together just for damage calculation for the birds.
Oh,
It
interesting.
seems like something for a deck building. Yeah, I think that's a good point. A lot of utility, um, being able to push units around if you're trying to space out a group together mob that's coming.
Yeah. I mean, he has a use and also that just like the opponent needs to play around it, like sort of like Wrath and Guilford. I mean, Saruk is the champion that you actually play, but then like if you're at 5 or 6 magic, your opponent kind of needs to be afraid of either Wrath or Guilford. Like maybe they'd come down, maybe they'd mess with you, but yeah, I almost never actually see them played in a game.
The commons are so necessary to bring back and forth across the board. It's almost always more value to play those position well and just hope you get the mana to be able to afford those at some point. But that's just how I play, and I'm sure other people like yourself mentioned the more I play them, the more passive I'm being. So you probably have more mana than I ever have.
Yeah.
I mean, that was the most aggressive opening I've ever done.
I mean, it paid
For
off
the
like
first.
yeah, that turn three, like that's something. Like that you Vlox is already down for the count. It's only been 2 turns. Um, and yeah, I
That
sort of
Cyruk shot right there from that angle. Oh, it already hit you, but it can do 8 damage. It can technically do double, which I think is the little crack hit that you get when you're playing the birds is when you get double damage
yeah,
with where
or
they.
you didn't have a steward this turn, but the next turn that you shoot with Cyruk you do.
Oh, yeah, my bad.
So
Okay,
it's just for
that
four.
makes sense.
Almost there
Yep.
though. um, but then yeah, this next turn, I
Yeah,
mean
I
this yeah, go ahead.
just the sounds. Oh no, I in my head I thought that I had it down, but you did clip that previous. That would have been deadly.
Yeah,
But
for sure.
that's about all you can ask for.
Yeah, well, if you look at, I mean, so later on though, you have a role where I think you need, I mean, we'll get there, but like you needed to get, well, we'll get there. I guess it is this next turn, isn't it? I mean, so I moved back and I was like hoping to force you to retreat. I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna expose a guild gunner. Like, surely with like you can't really. I'm hoping that you can't really, you don't have the cards to enforce this push, that you're just going to back off. That's not what you did.
I
um,
thought a lot about this one.
yeah,
Do I go all in?
you
Risk
you
Saru?
sure do. It would have been so good if you had a gate or something too. Yeah, Ava runs up, Saruk runs up, and then this is the turn. And battle songs, that's 5 worthy dice. That is a pretty decent chance of
Let me pull up. I got the I got the little calculator.
the worthy
One
calculator.
second.
Oh yeah, no, I'd love
Yeah,
to hear what the odds are. And you get 2 damage. That's a massive, like that's astronomical in how low that is. Honestly, for 5 worthy dice, that's worse than rolling 2 damage with five
yeah.
melee dice. Yeah.
I saw that and I was like, I'll still get you.
You're pretty
I was
close.
very confident that I was.
I yeah, my next turn. I mean, so I go 10 for 10 for the kill, which is insane. Like I did not really expect to kill you. I had 12 or 13 dice against Ava, and I was just like, I was hoping with blocks tucked into this corner here that I end up putting him, that like you would only be able to do one attack on him. You wouldn't be able
Only there
to.
was a bird that could come in and push other units away.
If only.
Guildford, perhaps?
If only.
No, no, you were tucked away in there in a way that I don't know that I could have breached it, but
I
Cyruk,
mean, Saruk sure could have.
I would have pulled Ava out, Cyruk at Vlox,
Yeah.
tried to protect Ava as best I can while I go for that shot, maybe. Three sages in hand, so that was when I like Karma hit me another time, and I was wondering if that original lack of a discard
Yeah.
was the final straw.
All right, I'm seeing it. I got Summoner Wars Zone up, and yeah, so for 5 worthy dice, your odds of rolling 5 or higher are 65% chance.
65. Yeah.
And then
Um,
6 plus 34% chance. That's pretty decent. Like solid third of the games go your way right there.
I like those odds. I take those odds if it's more than 50 pretty liberally. Um, not like to a detriment for your own summoner, but
Yeah.
it's pretty reliable. Yeah, when you're at 60%.
Yeah. Yeah. I
But
mean,
that made me happy. That was a good game.
it
And I'd
sure
love
was.
in the future at least to show what I can do. I just started playing the Phoenix Elves too. They didn't get a full showcase, but yeah, the birds are fun. They're
Yeah.
not just fly in and swarm all the time.
Yeah, there's a lot going on with them. I'm a big fan. I feel like I haven't played them as much as they deserve. They've got a lot going on.
So what pulls you into Summoner Wars specifically for the factions, with their themes, perhaps,
So like
or
what?
strategies? What like excites you to dive in headfirst into a new faction? Um, and do you gravitate towards anything about them specifically? Like they're melee heavy. I
Yeah.
really like playing the sniper and kind of hiding back and playing position.
Yeah, you're gonna get like an essay in response to that.
Yeah,
So driving me for factions in general. I mean, like I think the overarching thing is there's a qualifier to this. Like I'm not as much of a saint as I'm about to present myself, but the overarching thing is like picking up a faction and just being like, huh, I did that badly. Like I made like I do not like I pick up Muglug and it's like, wow, boy, did I not do I not know what's going on, but I feel like, and then I guess the qualifier is as long as I feel like I'm improving a little bit every game, I mean, I'll be happy. And so like Shadow Elves, I had so much fun playing. And I'll give an actual answer in a bit, I promise. But like
me
Shadow Elves,
too.
I had so much fun just being like, I just feel like there's so much potential. Just being able to lift cards, just pick them up, put them back in my hand. Like it's got to be so much going on there. I feel like it was like 30, 50 games before I was like, oh, so these are why the Shadow Elves are good. This is like what the sort of thing you want to be doing. Like, I don't know. Like, you could just really bumble around with the faction and try to figure stuff out. I think, like, uh, other than that sort of general response, I mean, I like a lot of different playstyles. The first faction that I really liked was Ret Talus. Like I just like the combo decks. I think I always like dark decks. The dark symbol, the moon. I think I'm most excited whenever they come out. And I also like just econ playstyles. It took me a while to come around to like Sarah. But
Mm.
now I'm just a big fan. Like you discard all your cards, you go up to 8 magic, you play Colleen, and it's just a lot of fun. And I can also just have fun playing like keep away ranged games like Breakers, and I love Grognak. Just like, yeah, just your units are big value. That's a lot of fun. I think what I'd like struggle with would be something like Balzar took me a while to figure out, just because like you have to be so comfortable taking big risks with your summoner in order to get value with Balzar, in order to just like put the pressure that you need. And that just took me a while to realize. So I feel like I was pretty stagnant with
Uh,
Balzar for a while. And cloaks, something about them. They've just got so much going on. It's just like that key where I need to feel like I'm improving every game. Like it's just like it just clicks would just break my brain and be like, oh, I don't want to play these guys. I'm getting better. I think I'm getting better. I want to give them a second try. I mean, I've still played like a lot of games with them, but there for some reason I have something going on with cloaks. Whether but everything else I have tons of fun with.
do you find yourself enjoying watching other people who've mastered a faction more than you have, looking for inspiration as you're playing it, or is it more so figuring out yourself and making all the mistakes?
I think I lean towards figuring it out myself. I think what I enjoy looking these are great questions, by the way. But what I enjoy watching other people is like once feel like I figured out a faction, like, and I've tried it. It's like I don't know. It's like it's when you're at school and like you
Mhm.
struggle with a problem. Like you want to try it you want to try it once yourself, and once you realize how you don't know how to do it, then it's interesting to go and like talk to the teacher or someone else and have them like try to explain it to you. Once like you know what questions to ask or something. Like I remember like when I
Yeah,
first played, I played a lot of Fallen Kingdom, and then like eventually I'd post in the Discord like, okay, if I draw both pyres turn one, what do you do? And like that's almost like a very specific math problem. Like what do you do with this hand? And a bunch of people commented, and like one of the best Fallen Kingdom players, Donkey, came out with the hot take that he would hold both of them. And so like I don't know, but I tend to get like yeah, I want to figure it out myself, and I'll kind of get stressed out if like I'm reading a guide before I'm playing a faction. And it's like telling me how to do it, and it's like, oh no, no, I have to do it exactly this way. I just sort of want to play it around myself and like talk about it with other people after I feel like I have my bearings.
I found that the guides, I leaned on those heavy even before I would play it for the first time. I would read through the guide, make sure that I knew what the units did, and then uh, they're not comprehensive. Perhaps coming up with different lines of attacking the Phoenix Elves guide, perhaps like using your push ability, lining up or protecting yourself in scenarios, getting off extra attacks, theory crafting a little bit before I go into it.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
I wonder if that takes away from the fun of just the novelty and the mystery of a completely new deck that I don't know how they made it just so addicting.
You know, yeah,
Math is all balanced out in a way, and the factions some beat others almost all the time, but not always. And that's a testament to the
yeah.
design.
And
Yeah,
there's very few situations like that. Like most matchup like usually like the worst matchups you'll see in Summoner Wars are 60-40, and like maybe there's like a few 70-30s, but like they're just a very small number of them. Most matchups are pretty balanced, which is
I,
just very impressive.
yeah. Those losses are probably from Colby, so we can just drag him out.
Yeah. Yeah, and to your comment about reading guides, I mean, I think it's like different strokes for different folks and whatnot. I mean, like whatever gets you interested and excited about playing. I definitely like when I first started like playing video games as like a kid in middle school, I would always like flip through the guide first, and I was like, I don't know. And now I've kind of I've swapped to the other direction of yeah, no, I would literally like I'd be playing through like Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time, and I'd be watching someone else play on YouTube, and then I'd just go and do exactly what they did, and I was just mimicking and like
Yeah,
thinking back, it's like, what the heck was I thinking? Like, how is that fun? But for some reason, that's what I wanted to do. Now I'm on the opposite side of the spectrum. I don't know. It's just personality
that's
thing.
just what a lot of kids do. It's just the emulation of whatever they deem, whatever makes them excited, doing what people, their idols do, and
Yeah, yeah, I guess
watching that
so.
YouTube video and seeing something cool, and I got to do that. But yeah, so for that reason, I'm almost done with my Avian's guide, but again, I'm a dork with the math, so I wanted to put the list of permutations of different lines of attack such that you can maximize and statistically lean towards um, a line of certain units doing a specific amount of damage. And
Yeah.
it gets a little bit messy when you're trying to plan for three separate attacks. And, well, how much damage can that actually do to a single unit? Um, when should you use your events? When to hold your events? Those types of things are going to depend on how much damage that you think that you can pull off. And unless you play the birds a lot, you're not going to know that you you need to drop um, either of the events that either give you damage or let you shoot through other units. I
Yeah.
out of the board game, which I absolutely love. Um, First edition, I don't think was balanced nearly as well as second edition.
Mm.
But out of all my friends, they've all picked up the Vanguards for their first time,
Interesting. In
which
second
I thought was
edition?
curious. Second edition,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah. So I didn't push them one way or another, but I don't know if there's some sort of an appeal to that deck specifically. I thought that was curious.
That's interesting. Yeah, I mean, I feel like it stands out. I'm very excited to read your guide or talking about odds with avians, by the way. But yeah, like I
Yeah.
mean, there's something about Sarah that like draws people in too. Like it's I mean it's supposed to, it looks like it's like a, oh, you know, like all my units do simple things. I'll be easy to play, I promise. But then like it's it feels like a little bit more deceptive than that. Like Grognak is kind of like Grognak and maybe Meldaria are like the true like easy to play. I mean, people will argue with
Yes.
me all day
I,
about that, but
well, my buddy who got me into the game, he was a guy in the Discord for the Mongol dwarfs being um, loud with his opinions about how easy they are and
how
how
easy they are to play.
the yeah, like just to pick up, like you just go oonga boonga,
Yeah.
you just move your units forward, and it's very positional. But
Yeah.
I always think of that as just being like the. It's certainly not brain dead, and if you play the deck, you know the different options that are available
Yeah.
to you, and who knows what's what's better to do.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
yeah, I definitely lean. A lot of people say the goblins too.
Goblins too. Yeah,
You just
goblins. You
go
just
all
play it
in.
and do it. I mean, and sort of, you can't really go wrong. I mean, like, you can definitely pick up a faction as a beginner and be like, I didn't get that. Like, that's like, I don't want to play that. And that's great. Just play a different one. But I mean, like, in the ideal experience where you're playing against someone who also has never played the game before, like, you really can't go wrong. Just pick it up, have fun. Like,
That was magical. Our my first game playing, we had no idea what we were doing.
isn't it? You can
Um,
never go
yeah,
back.
that's like the wonder of a child. It's like,
What were your first few
yeah.
like matchups and whatnot?
So my first matchup, so I played first edition, and I picked Vlox as my username because when I had looked through the deck box and I saw all the different options, I picked up two decks and I picked up the Tundra Orcs and the was it the cloaks or was it sand cloaks? Both were the ones that I gravitated towards and pulled them out of the box, and I ended up playing with the Tundra Orcs, which was a lot of fun. And
Gotcha.
I remember my buddy sitting across the table, and I'm sitting there with a 10-minute turn over something that was seemingly inconsequential, but my brain already caught on at that point to the possibilities
Yeah, that's
and the options, and yeah, selecting those is just there's something gratifying. Yeah.
that's so wonderful to hear. Yeah, I feel like me too. Just like I just like have this distinct. It's funny how your brain just like clings onto this like very small specific memory. This distinct time of being like, oh, I have a few minutes before class. Like, guess like we'll try to play a game real quick and something. And it was like, oh, I haven't played Asfara yet. I should try playing Asfara. And it's just like, wow, just that like just right that last master set faction that I hadn't played. Like the moment of I haven't played a faction, I get to play it for the first time. Like that's really wonderful.
I wish I knew first. I bought like a master set and I got a bunch of the expansions on it, but yeah, it's hard to find people to play with tabletop. And I do it when I can, but a lot of my buddies are board game guys that want to play stuff that they're excited about too. So it's always
Yeah,
a balance.
yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's
There's
hard.
too many good games, so yeah.
It's true. It's a real problem. Yeah, it is. Yeah, I played a lot of games in college, and now afterwards it's like, what do I do? All my friends are somewhere in the world. Can't It's a lot harder to find time to like play games in person.
True.
Yeah.
I I'm not leaning towards the Xbox or what. I had to set up my PC even just to hop on this stream, so I had a microphone. But yeah, there's something about I can sit on the couch watching TV and play it, and
Mm,
not have to sit up at the computer, be fully attentive for other
yeah.
styles of gaming. But
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, I mean, you talk to most people on the server. I feel like most people got into playing it asynchronously, and like a lot of the like legends like Aaron or oh it was Aaron that said it most recently, like when he came on the scuffle, it was
Mhm.
like, yeah, this is like the second ever real-time game I've played. And I think I was pretty privileged to like play my first like 100 or so games of Summoner Wars in person. So I just got like very comfortable with the live environment and whatnot.
It's wild. But if you play other, turn-based hex style or square tile movement games, it translates enough to where you have the
Yeah,
feel for it.
yeah, for
Having
sure.
100 games before coming on set you set you in a good way to be successful.
Yeah, well, and I feel like a lot of like moving the pieces in your hands. I don't know. Maybe it's just my brain specific, but I think it's a lot of people could relate to like it just helps you like learn a faction or learn the game. Like you sort of like a lot of people that have only played online, when you play with them in person, like going to Gen Con, it's like they forget to gain magic. Like I played a few games against Orange Lazarus. It was real tough for him to remember to gain magic just because the app does it for you. And especially like playing factions like Cool Doc, like it really helped to like
Oh gosh.
move the boosts around in person to just internalize how it works. When the app does it for you, I feel like you can sort of just like it would be harder to like figure out how it works. I feel like. I mean, I've never had
Well,
to learn Cool Doc.
you have to worry about what your opponents, that they're taking their wounds correctly, or that they're putting boosts on their units for their benefit, making
Yeah,
sure that they don't miss it. So your thought is being divided. What is normally absorbed by the application doing it all for you.
yeah, yeah,
I trust that it's accurate too, which I can't imagine how complicated the logic is to make everything work out.
yeah, yeah,
Um, it's a totally different experience. So I built that new deck recently. I shared it with you just over
yeah,
our
yeah.
private Discord. Uh, I think it was spicy queso, and then I also have a fire medic one. Are those things that have come through the scene before, and I'm just new to it, and it's not novel whatsoever? Or
It's
did I build something that has maybe potential against some decks?
I'm trying to scroll up to see. Okay, wait. I think I just need to scroll up more. Um, I think the short answer is at this point, like everything's novel when it comes to deck building. Like, I mean, there's probably people have tried like various iterations of things, but like there's so many, I don't know, like there's just so many like new decks and combos coming out every day. Like I just don't feel like people have played around with K so much in general. Jexic is super friendly if you know Jexic on the server. He's been doing a
It's
lot more. So say it again.
Oh, I do. I got into it, and looked at his guides and kind of followed a lot of
Yeah,
his
yeah, yeah,
advice as I was exploring it because of him being vocal.
yeah,
Yeah, he's got it down in the brain for it too. I
yeah.
suspect that he knows all of the different variations of what is good, for a fact, and what is it could work under the right scenarios, but it's really not. It's really
Yeah, I
not
mean, so
anything
like, so
special.
he's just played a lot, and he'll tell you that like, I mean, a lot of his games have been like this one Tundra Orcs deck, but like, so he's seen a lot of what other people have played, and so when I first started out, like, I mean, I would bring things to be him and be like, yeah, has anyone tried this out before? So like, definitely feel free to like shoot him a message and be like, what do you think of this? You think you've seen this before? He could probably respond better than I can. Seeing if I can pull this deck up on stream. Oh, it looks like I can.
He
Here we go. But
got
like,
back to me for one of the posts in the Discord, and I was like, oh, he actually kind of liked it, which I thought was cool. But it
yeah,
also made me feel like my ideas weren't necessarily revelations, that he had thought through it already before too, which was
yeah. I mean,
kind of cool and also kind of defeating.
he's thought of a lot of things. I wouldn't I wouldn't take it personally. I mean,
Yeah,
because like also like him thinking of something could sort of, I mean, I feel like there's a lot of process towards building a deck. Like Jexic might have thought of, or someone else might have thought of a combo, but you very easily could be the first person that like actually tries to play 10 games with this. Like sometimes you think of a deck, you play it 3 times, you never touch it again. And like really, I think for deck building, I mean, and I'm still new to it, but like I think you really want to play a deck a lot. Like you want to play a deck like 100 times before you can be comfortable being like, these are the best set of cards to like have in this deck. And so like I'm sort of trying to do that with my fungal dwarfs deck, which like I mean like Injected was like, oh yeah, it seems like not you're sort of the first person to play like the blood summon
can I
rhinos
see that
combo.
again? I
The
saw your video on it, and it blew
yeah,
my mind. That I was like, oh, I didn't think of that. That's
the
amazing.
the blood summon.
It's
Yeah,
so fun to watch.
it's really fun. I remember at some point he was like, "So where did you get the idea for blood summon and rhinos?" And I was like, "Oh, someone just mentioned it in the Discord, and I thought I'd make a deck for it." Or someone was like, "Oh yeah, the most efficient target for blood summon is going to be rhinoceros because it's a 2 magic card that has 5 health." And I was like, "Oh, that'd be fun." And so then made this. This was like the first deck I ever made, really. Or like not, but not this iterate. Like this is iterated on it a little bit. Um, but yeah, this one's a lot of
I
fun.
feel like the true purists are of the opinion such that you, if you're not putting four of a card in your deck, why do you have the other ones? I I think in this game it's different, and that the laws that previously applied to other games like maybe Yu-Gi-Oh or Magic don't make as much sense. Like having one
Yeah,
demand is probably the right amount of demand the deck needs. I
yeah,
I wrestled with that. Like why not put if it's that good?
yeah,
Keeping it consistent and only drawing into it, expecting to draw into something
yeah.
is
God,
is valuable.
yeah. I feel like we could talk forever. I'm having so much fun. I think
Yeah.
Waterdeep was talking about that. But don't let me just talk your head off. And to keep you all night. What Waterdeep was
No,
talking about. Yeah.
no worries.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure, for sure. He was talking about, and so like he comes from a poker background, and he was saying that like there's always the like the aspect of like the surprise factor, or just like having one of a common can be good just for the surprise factor. This conversation was probably like a year ago at this point, but he had a deck build and he was like, I put one beast rider in it in like Cave Goblins deck build, just one, because if there's one beast rider, your opponent can't afford to play around that because like there's just one of them. Like you can't really afford to play around a one of. So whenever it does come out, it's going to get value. um Forget how we tied it into poker, but I don't know. So something about just like the little, yeah, just
Well,
the
there's the
surprise
chance
factor.
of getting that really good hand always. So if you're bluffing, the odds that people think that you're bluffing in those scenarios and that coming out onto the table is uh,
Yeah,
probably that the way that it's advantageous.
yeah,
And I had a similar thought with the deck that you were just looking at, and I had thrown in the
yeah. Let's
Archers
talk about
for the
it.
Fallen Kingdom. Yeah.
Or wait, so is this? I have up your
So,
Moldaria deck. Is that
I,
is that
so
the
I
one you want?
had I think it's the stream is lagging. Okay. So I'll take out one priest and toss in undead the undead archer
Oh, interesting.
first. Sorry, I'm terrible with the card names too. Just a shame. The cultists with the amulet. I like
Yeah,
throwing one of those in place of a priest, because for priests, you you'll have two in hand, and when do you ever really want two of them? Ever? Should I really even have four? But does getting rid of one of the four take away my whole theme in the first place? For having like a an
Yeah.
engine where you're healing your units. And,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, it's definitely goofy and a lot of stuff going on. So I could see
Yeah.
making a case for some consistency.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if it helped you feel better, I mean, like when you sent this was like I was like, oh, like Way of the Spirit of the Phoenix can combo with Con Queso. Like I had never thought of that before. So you at least beat me to it. I don't know if some. I mean, I've never seen anyone play that before. So I mean,
That was
and
Jack
every
Six advice.
we'll see.
Yeah, just
Jax
find a
Jax has
card.
freaking done
Yeah,
everything, I guess.
he said find a card that you really like and
Oh
then
yeah,
build a
yeah,
deck around.
yeah.
Yeah,
And that's Con Queso. What
it
was the
was
goal here?
spicy queso was yeah, but I was also playing Phoenix Elves because that's what's in the league right now, and
Yeah,
it just clicked for me. I was like, oh, that just makes sense.
yeah,
How can I expound upon that? And there's a few different routes, and I took a goofy one.
yeah, yeah.
I I don't know. I had mass heal in there at one point. I could do away with less priests. Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, if I was
it could be tweaked and have different strengths, but I've only played like 2 games of it.
Yeah, and I mean, the
Fine.
more you play with it, you're gonna figure out, oh, these cards I play a lot of, these cards I'm happy to see, these cards I don't want to see, and like it's not really until you just like start to see that like you're gonna start thinking about it. Ooh, I wonder if Attendant Priest would be interesting here. Um,
I thought
or
about that. The only thing is that you have to position yourself such that it would always heal when you needed to,
yeah,
space away from
that's
a gate.
fair. And I mean, I guess you could put Arbiters of Peace in, but I mean, at that point, it might become a different deck, and if you don't want that,
I have that deck too because that was the other avenue that I had gone down, which was leaning into some of the Knights, the Citadel champions, and a couple Arbiters of Peace, um, which is like a completely different playstyle with just a few changes.
yeah, yeah, it's funny
Uh,
how that works.
is the priest a worthwhile unit for one cost?
The oh
If you know that you have to play around like being one space away from a gate, and what does that one health really get you?
y-
Um, it gets
yeah.
a lot of value for the Ember Mage.
Ooh, that's true actually. That is a lot of value for the Ember Mage. I mean, it depends on the
Mhm.
matchup, but um yeah, I feel like priests have surprised me. I mean, this is in Valeria, I guess, so like can't can't say for sure in other decks, but like priests like being defended by Arbiters of Peace always feel good, and like getting the jump, like the one healing can just really feel critical sometimes, but yeah, I don't know. I need to play with it to see. Might not be a good fit, might be.
What if that was your one of out of the whole deck? It's not. It's not the Rhino. It's I have one hidden priest, and I
Yeah,
might heal at some point, and you're gonna
yeah.
regret it.
Yeah, that could totally make sense. I think I have a Sarah deck where I just kind of I have one priest in there, and kind of just because I'm trying it, I want to see if I play it, but it's just like maybe like because sometimes like when you're playing Sarah, especially if you have guarding spirits, if you have guarding spirits up, having a 2 health unit is very different from having a 1 health unit, because that's the difference between
Night and
dying
day.
or not dying. Yeah. So like sometimes
Yeah.
I'm just thinking like, that priest could come in really handy. It kind of feels bad if I'm not if like but I do have a few like Arbiters of Peace, so I could combo off of that. So I don't know. I'm trying it out.
Do
And
you have a example of that? Um,
oh, oh
of your own little deck a little bit? Yeah.
of the
With
Sarah deck.
the Sarah deck with yeah,
Let's see.
your so complete pivot from this, but
Yeah, yeah. Creatively titled Good Sarah. Here it is. um,
I'm
that's
embarrassed of my titles.
no. I mean, you always.
Assassinate Cylinder. Ooh.
I'm glad. Yeah. Hopefully, those titles are like safe for work. I'm not actually
P-
sure. Anytime. I think they are. It's assassin cylinder. You see, it's a source for
Oh,
assassin, short for assassin, nothing
oh,
else. Don't worry about it.
oh,
Um,
jeez. My heart jumped out of my chest. I thought that that was something else.
yeah, no. Don't think those thoughts. Yeah, I love Sarah. Like putting Song of Sanctity in Sarah is so much fun. You just get so much value out of
Ooh,
that. Um, it's
yeah.
basically, and then like the Arbiters of Peace are good, advisors are good. I really think this just kind of like takes Sarah's base deck and just like puts it up like 8 notches. I like this deck a lot.
The Arbiter of Peace is busted
It's
because you're always controlling the range.
it's
I, I
it's
think
real
it's
good.
insane that it's a one cost card.
I've
I
had some
love.
games. Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, I love your thought process here. But yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, no. I mean, I think several people have tried similar things. But yeah, like I've just had some games where it's just like you have an Arbiter of Peace and Colleen, and it's just like it takes them 3 turns to kill like a 2 health paladin or something because they get super unlucky. Like it can be really nice.
The Paladin and the Knight. The Knight is so brutal of a unit. It's always taking up 3 attacks. And what other cards besides champions really have that much
Yeah,
potential? I feel like they soak more damage than the the sentinels and the birds for whatever reason.
yeah,
Maybe when you're fighting them, it seems different.
yeah.
What I curious about the archer
Okay,
being put into this deck too.
Citadel Archer.
What I think about these the light faction, I think the Citadel Archer.
Yeah,
Yeah, you put 2 of them in here, and it seems like the hope that you get it really early on, but you're also
exactly.
limited how many that you have. So how do you reconcile? Like I just get lucky and hope I get it early,
Basically.
or
Yep.
it's I'm fine with tossing it. It'll just I'm just gonna.
Yeah, and if
those are
I God.
those are the things that keep me up. Shouldn't be
Yeah.
there, should it?
There's so much shade thrown at Citadel archers. I think they're good. I think they're very good in like early to the early side of the mid game, and after that they really drop off. But like, hey, if you get them then, they're really good. And if I get them later, I'll just discard them and like play Katu or something or Colleen. Like it's I'm totally fine. Like if I get the worst thing that can happen is I discard them for 1 magic, and that's totally fine at the end of the game. Um, I mean, I could even see an argument for more. I think your other units are so good here that I really couldn't justify 2. But I mean, I've played this deck like I don't know 5 6 times. Like it's there's definitely room for
Yeah,
improvement.
yeah. I think you need the advisors. Um, that's my favorite part about what you have going on with the commons because it just opens you up to so many more different lines of protecting yourself or um, getting that attack you need to pull a unit out.
Yeah,
Probably
yeah,
getting your knights out of the grave, maybe.
yeah, and just like having just the ways to get extra Sarah attacks is just straight value. Like every time you attack with Sarah, you get a magic, basically. You get a card. And so like having Song of Sanctity, that's 4 free attacks with Sarah, 3 advisors, like you're usually gonna I mean, in a lot of situations you're gonna be able to use an advisor to get an attack with Sarah that like can't be counterattacked, and it's just like that's just like some more free attacks with Sarah. And so like if you can bring this deck to the end game, like it can just be a monster. It can be really fun.
That's why I started with Conquesta
Yeah.
because he can he can pick away 1 damage at a time through Sarah, even if you have Sanctity up or Guarding. Well, Guarding's for commons, but yeah,
Yeah.
that chip damage, just one little ping at a time.
Yeah, it can be real good. I mean, I've sort of struggled like I've
Pretty bad,
sometimes so yeah.
I think. Like, yeah, I want it to be good though,
It can be
but
tough.
I interrupted you.
No. It can be tough. Like, yeah, I've tried to build decks. Like here, let me find it. Like I've tried to build decks that are all about Conqueso, and then I'm just like Like if I just don't draw Conqueso, it's bad, and the deck is bad anyway. Here we go, rats. This deck is garbage in my opinion. I was really excited about it and really having fun with it because just the idea is you have Voyagers and Biters, and like the Voyagers can still trigger Conqueso after they Spirit Leap. And it was like, oh, this will be so much
Really?
fun, so much Conqueso shenanigans, and it's just like this deck has no econ plan, and I don't know. Most decks have ways to like your only game plan is kind of just to trap the enemy summoner, and it just like doesn't really happen a lot of the time.
The stream is paused, but do you have Horizon in there at least for a little bit of econ?
Nope. Maybe I should. Um, there's no
But I'm
econ.
assuming you're going for the swarm, the quick queso
Yeah, I don't.
discard heavy,
This deck has
get him
pretty
out flat
much
minus.
this deck has pretty much been thrown in the garbage. And out of the ashes has emerged hot broken cheese. Oh wait, no, that was Jack 6 iteration on it. There's just like a similar deck but with breakers, with the idea being like mind witches copy biters. And I was just thinking like this deck, you have the breakers package, the three really good wind mage, mind witch, deceivers. They're just three combins that combo really well off of each other. So like if you don't draw Conqueso, you still got a good deck. But like you have some really Conqueso can do some pretty wild stuff here.
I feel like there's so many opportunities to have the mobility that it's kind of overwhelming just staring at this lineup. Like you can give the witches the mind witches flight and crash, but is that better than giving it some of the other cool abilities that you have for your commons? What was
Yeah.
the last row? The wind mages. So you can push your units around, space it, get queso right into the action. This is a cool idea.
Yeah,
You said this was Jack Sixth one, or was this yours?
this was mine. I think I yeah, I mean I think King Zora has played around with similar things. I'm not sure if other people have tried putting queso in to Kulu before. I think Jaxic and Iridium have both like tried to iterate on it, play with it a little bit. Um and I think Jaxic made something like this. Okay, not this exactly, but Jaxic was thinking, what if we put mortars and thrusters on it? Sorry, I gotta send a quick message.
Interesting. Yeah, it's been a stream.
Yeah, like we got mortars, thrusters, law of liberty. I guess we had a law of liberty in the other one, but just like you keep one biter in the back the whole time, mind would just copy it and then run in with mortars. Like he had a game against me where like I think he triggered mortar like 4 times in a turn, and like you think like, oh, isn't your econ plan like bust? Yeah, he beat me on econ that game too. um,
Was that with the what is it, that the one cost three melee to 2 HP? What is the can get things from the graveyard? Because what
um,
other econ is there in the
oh,
deck? Like, how do you get
sand goblins. Or the sand
Sand Goblin?
scavenger.
Yeah.
Sorry. Yeah.
Scavenger. Yeah, thank you. Okay.
I don't
Like,
think
how do
it
you even
symbols don't line up here. Yeah, I can't put it that into Kulu, but could do like a similar deck with like a tech symbol.
why the deceiver though? I'm curious. Like,
Um
is that unit actually good? Because it's in all of these variations.
Deceiver, I mean,
Three or four
have
costs.
you played much
No,
Breakers?
no.
I think the more you play Breakers, or like I don't know, the more you play Breakers, maybe you see it more. Like Deceivers are just kind of insane in my opinion. Like they're
Mm.
a one magic for one magic you get 4 health, you get engage, and you also get stupefy. So like they just usually most attacks will do 1 less damage to them. So they're kind of just a big block of stats that like you put it adjacent to
I
an enemy unit, they're just defending really well. Like I think they're just one of the best units in the game, if not like
I
the
thought
best
they were
common.
2 costs. So that's how much I know the breakers. I was like,
I
really, for two?
you
That's how
could
good this is.
yeah, you could
I thought that.
if you said they were 2 cost, like I could believe it. Like they're maybe the best 1 cost in the game. I don't know. Like I love them. I love them. Very good. Very good.
It's not too dissimilar to the 2 cost Ember uh,
The Royal
Warrior, whatever that you get the push and
the
engage.
Royal Guard, yeah,
Which
but then
Royal Guard,
that
yeah.
one costs 2, and so it's like so close.
For an extra damage, well, damage is worth more than HP stat for stat, technically. And the ability has to make it weigh one way or another.
Yeah.
Deceivers, the only downside is it seems pointless to attack with it. You're gonna be
Yeah.
disappointed with one
No.
of those types.
Well, it's kind of crazy that I'm coming out here saying like best common in the game has 1 attack. Like I mean, there's a lot. There's definitely a lot going on with this game when there's something like that. Because yeah, it's I mean you don't want to attack with it. It's bad. But a lot of what like breakers will do is like you'll have a setup where like you have a mind witch that has the push ability, and so the mind witch will attack down a line and like just attack something of yours, and then push a deceiver in front of it to defend itself. So like in the breakers deck, the deceivers sort of serve that purpose of like everything in the breakers deck is low health and kind of
They're a
bad.
clinger that just gets pushed over to where they need to go.
Yeah, I mean, basically, they just
A better clinger.
they sit there and they take the hits. Um,
Is it every crit that is rolled it subtracts one?
yeah, yes. It's just if
That's insane.
one special, it's if one special are rolled, it's -1. So it's only -1 total, no more than that. But if you roll at least
I'd
one, it's
have to have a
-1.
talk with the developers if it did more than one.
Yeah, no, that could be, and it's at least. Is it minimum? No, no, it's not minimum 1. Yeah, so you can do 0 damage on an attack. Yeah, it's pretty crazy. They can stack if you have like multiple deceivers on one unit though.
Mm.
But yeah, I hope you have fun just like trying out your deck. Or that I definitely just like put it into the queue and see how it goes. I might personally, I'm not a huge fan of like Temple Priest. I find them like kind of situational, just because a lot of times you're like, I just want my third attack to be directed towards an enemy, not towards healing. So you might end up like using a lot more Cassia healing than Temple Priest healing, but I could be wrong about that. So I don't know. Like it's fun to just play around with it and see what happens. 'Cause yeah, like
I
Hell
think
Forged
the
Law of
more they
Loyalty could be cool.
Oh, a lot of loyalty too. Yeah, these were all things that was, tip the scales one way or another. It just depends. I have a more citadel focused one, and it's so fun to put a weapon on the priest and to smack your own unit and bring them back up to full.
Yeah, yeah.
Because it gives a heal for crit and for swords,
That's
which
interesting.
is
I haven't thought about
all the
that.
time.
Oh,
It's insane how much you can heal, and I'm not taking advantage of that with some of the units. But that's why I
yeah.
put the knights in. Like I need something with a little more HV so I can get some value.
I wonder if there's any like really good champions. Like I wonder if you'd ever want to just put in like Vanessa or something. Just
I
like
thought about Finesse too.
just a champion with a lot of health that like if you just can keep it alive forever, your opponent's like squirming.
Finesse is probably better than Holius, although there's so many Ember units in that deck. I just
Yeah.
don't have a win con other than to slowly like turtleneck sweater choke somebody until
Yeah. Yeah, I mean Holius does better with ranged units. I guess you got the mages, so as long I tried putting Holios in a deck with only like melee units once, and that did not go well. Like he sort of wants to have ranged Ember units. Though yeah, I could see that too. Um, yeah, I'm curious. Let me know how queso works. I'm curious if it does stuff for you, or if it's kind of just like always a meme.
it's tough because I'm if I'm playing well, if I'm playing my best game, I'm probably discarding him in favor of other things at the time because it's just not
Yeah,
the right
yeah, it's sad that be how it be sometimes. Um,
time. It do be like that in the couple of games I played it.
yeah.
Yeah.
Um, Yeah, I mean, but hopefully, I mean, I don't know. Maybe there'll be a turn here and there. I mean, if you get him out like once every 3 games, hey, that's a lot for a champion. Like if you get to if he does something good once every 3 games, um, I don't know.
People want him to work, and that's doing a lot of the heavy lifting for
Yeah, I mean,
them.
that's I really want. I'm so glad that it feels like he kind of works in that breakers deck I just showed you. Like I'm excited. I'm excited for that. Like I really wanted to find a deck where Queso wasn't just a meme, and I think that's it. Like I think Queso is decent in that deck. Like he can be kind of scary.
4 for 8 stats, so he's flat for his value, and everything after that is just benefit. You're pretty much guaranteed to get 1 damage on adjacency every time play goes.
Yeah.
So see, a crit is 1 in every 3. So you roll 2 dice, so it's about 66%.
Yeah. You probably need to like be thinking about like gate placement and whatnot to like have gates that are sort of like stacked in like the clinger setup, or I don't know. You would need to be.
Can you tell me what the difference is there? Because the Discord doesn't seem to help me very much for like
Yeah, let me.
understanding. Yeah.
Sorry. Here, let me see if I can um pull up a board. Oh, how do I do this? Come on. I'm almost there. Okay, so I can look at, let's see, cave goblins versus breakers. Sure. So if I'm looking at like a board state here, I'm just thinking about, of course, cave goblins are up there, but just like having spawn spots that are adjacent to other spawn spots. So if my gate is here, hopefully it shows up on stream for you in a second. But so if my gate is like a knight's move away from my 10 health gate, um, for sneaks, then I can summon like a unit here and have a clinger right next to it. So you can essentially
I
summon
see.
a clinger right next to another unit. So it's ready to move off the gate, out of the gate. Well, if I have my gate to the side, so it's like a lot of factions I feel like sort of like this gate that is like all the way to the left side of your board.
I do that all the time.
Yeah, I mean it's great for like having ranged lines. And I feel like that like a lot of like when I first started playing the game was like just feeling like I always wanted to do that gate, but it's like, oh god, I don't know if it's good. But I haven't changed. I still almost always do that gate, but not with sneaks. With sneaks I want to like be grouped up to get clings, because here I spawn a unit here, I spawn a unit here. It's kind of hard to get those clingers moving. While having the gate right next to it helps out a lot.
It seems so simple, and it's nice to be able to draw it out and talk about it like that. And we don't have a sandbox to do this.
Yeah, for sure. Not unless you're playing in person or something.
I think that if you put a gate in the corner, it should probably flag you for intentional losses.
Yes.
Did that come into an advantage the other? Was it maybe a couple days ago? You put something up where somebody had to put a corner gate against the goblins, just to deal with all the pressure that was coming to them.
Yeah, maybe you're thinking of like I think Shampoo put a gate not
Yes.
quite in the corner, but just to the side. Um, yeah,
Oh, I thought it was a corner one. I was just listening.
yeah.
I didn't see the word say it.
Yeah, it was like right. Hopefully the stream's caught up. It was right there, so just to the side, or maybe I should show it, or like over here, and it was against vanguards, and I'm a big fan of that. Like particular game. I feel like I never see anyone do that. So like I was very vindicated to see Shampoo do it. But like against aggressive factions like snakes and like obsidian dwarves, you want to keep your gate safe. And I'm just like, hey, you know what better way to keep my gate safe than to put it in my back row? And like, hey, this still has like decent utility. I can get units out here. So um I kind of like that. I mean it's very only against like specific factions, but I'm a fan of it.
What factions do you tend to line up your gates? Where you actually stack them on top of each other? And I cringe at the thought of putting my 5 health gate in front of my 10 health gate. But there's certain decks that work well with that.
Um, huh.
So, do you have anything like that where you actually? Oh, that is a common tactic.
That one in particular is tough. I can't like I know I've done it a couple times. I just don't think I do that very much. Like especially like some of the aggressive factions. Like I think balls are oh goodness. Like I think balls are and Tundra Orcs, do they both start with a gate up top? Balzar might have.
Can't keep it straight.
Say it again.
Oh, I'm sorry, I said I can't keep it straight. All the different factions and
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
orientations.
Yeah, okay, but so Balzar and Tundra Orcs both have their gates already in their third row, and it's their 10 health gate in the third row, so like it's not, I don't know. So you need to have a faction, need to have a faction like Takulu or someone that would, I don't know, like I think I've had a few, I think it's like, sorry, it's like long-winded answer, which basically indicates that I don't know what I'm talking about. But like I'll have like a few like game situations where like the only times where I'd want it, and you'll pull up Breaker's board state again, is like if for some reason the board state is just in a way that like have it being able to spawn a unit like right in front of that is somehow more helpful than anywhere else. It's not really a default position because usually like just for general game plans I prefer to have my gates like
Terrible
to
to
the
do it right
side.
off the bat.
Yeah,
But
I
it's
mean,
like a mid-game option when you've already put a side gate.
if you're
Uh,
being aggressive, yeah, yeah, I guess like maybe if I'm being super aggressive and it's like, oh, I already have a side gate, like this will just help me be more aggressive, but like there's not a ton of games where that happens. It seems pretty rare.
it's weird when you stumble upon, because every game, every turn is a puzzle, or you
Yeah.
stumble upon, oh, that is the play, because it denies them something and it gives me something, and gates are free,
Yeah.
which they're the most powerful cards. It's stressful playing gates because it changes the course of the game.
I completely agree. Like I feel like the more I play, the more I recognize that like the gate turns are the hardest. Like it's just like I need to think about like what sort of dynamic do I want the rest of the game to have. And if you I feel like I've lost like countless games to putting the gate in the wrong spot.
I've had good luck putting that stacked gate um, with the Phoenix Elves, the Avians
Yeah.
on occasion, and
Interesting.
I think Shadow Elf. It's very like this isn't like a tactic that I gravitate towards, but the only times where I've seen it come up on are the factions that like that line of attack
I could
and
see that.
siloing out any threat from one side.
I could see that.
Mhm.
Definitely. Yeah, Shadow Elves, there's a few factions that like try weird gate strategies. And I think Shadow Elves are one of them. Like, I mean, I still feel like I'm learning Shadow Elves. Um, Vexer will always surprise me with I'm trying to fall. Where's Fallen Kingdom? There's Fallen Kingdom. But Vexer will always surprise me with like this particular gate placement as Shadow Elves, where they'll move Cylinder just up and to the right, or to the right and up, and then put a gate in their fourth row, which is just so weird. And I think I understand why it works, like in particular for Shadow Elves, like it's not as bad as against other factions if the enemy occupies your forward gate because you can just like send a seeker there and then have it jump back and then pick it up or something. But
Wow.
there's a few factions like I mean I've seen Vexer do this gate and I've started to try to copy it. I still don't understand it. It's very weird, but there's like a few factions that will like try some weird gate placements like that.
I see that for sure with the way that their starting orientation goes because the, this is a common position. It's the same thing in chess. You see, oh, this position has been reached a bunch of times before. Bringing your like starting with a gate, bringing your summoner over to place that right there is just the comfort zone. Um,
Yeah.
I gravitate towards that if I have a gate and I'm playing Shadow Elves, but I'm
Yeah.
also pretty bad with them.
Interesting. Yeah.
Probably my worst race.
They
And I'm in my nook.
they take a
My little
while.
safety spot.
Sorry, say it again.
Oh, it's my little safety nook spot there where I can.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it feels like most summoners, well, I feel like when I first started playing the game, maybe I would have done something like that or even like done it on the other side. And then I would have immediately regretted it because your summoner is just out of the game kind of forever. And that is usually bad, and that can kind of cost you the game in a lot of situations. Not the case for Shadow Elves. Cylinder is totally in the game back there. He is doing exactly what he wants to do. He can flash in, he can flash out, he's getting boosts, he's doing everything he needs to from back behind that gate.
He's got 5 damage, so everybody who's playing him is like, well, if I'm not hitting for that 5, I must be wasting the value of the champion. And no, it's the events, very strange events.
Yeah.
I would even argue the strangest combination. What is the theme? An assassin, kind of.
Uh,
Look at the blink. Yeah.
is that a
Plus,
question or?
I like, yeah, it's an open question. Like, as I was trying to learn the deck, I was like, what is even the idea
It's a good
when they made
question.
this?
It's a good question. Like, and I honestly think it took like 30, 50 games before I would have an answer for you. um, and I think my answer finally is boosts equal good. Um,
Boosts
like
like
more,
enough to home just to get boosts.
yeah, like I, at this
Like
point, I will tome to get boosts.
I do too, because otherwise, well, it's a magic. But
Yeah, and it took me a while to do that. And I think like it's, it's, yeah, and you'd have to tell me to shut up because I can talk about this a while, but like, eventually I feel like I started like I just didn't realize the value of boost, but you can like you can use, I mean, the obvious thing is one, boost can help you get assassinations. Like with glinting speed, you can get some pretty crazy assassinations with cylinder, and you have into darkness. Like you have that assassination potential, but also boosts help with your economy. Boost on cylinder is like, I mean, just pulling shadow knights that have taken one attack. It's really good value. And something that I didn't realize is like, say you have infinite boost on your summoner, if you summon a seeker, attack with that seeker, and then immediately pull it up, you just spent one magic total to do 2 to 3 damage, and that's value. Like that's just
that's
good.
value.
And I didn't,
Yep.
it took me so long to realize that that's a good play, because it's like I just summoned this unit, it's taking no damage, I'm not going to pull it, but that's value. And so boosts, if you have boosts, more boosts you have, the more value you can get. Boosts are good.
You still have to pay one to put it back down, but the weight of, well, you just inflicted damage. Hopefully, it killed something. Um, is more valuable than the payment of playing it down again and spending the boost.
Yeah.
In a world of perfect boosts, uh, everybody be blinking all over the board. I yeah, I love the Shadow Elves, but I'd be very afraid to play that tabletop.
Ooh,
So I'd be sitting there thinking about.
for sure. Like, and that's sort of like the beauty of like, I don't know, starting it with a friend and whatnot. And like, I feel like I had some really big thinker turns, and myself in general, I sort of like, I can just take way too long, just like with any board game, just thinking about things. And so I feel like I've played so much Summoner Wars that like I've gotten to a point where I don't do that, but like some of my in-person games of Summoner Wars when I first started out were like 15 minutes or something. Like it just
Oh, that's not bad.
I
You
mean,
do
for
you
Summoner
would.
Wars though.
I don't even want to say, but I've spent on a turn where I'll like leave a turn for 6 hours and come back to it and look at it and be like,
Yeah.
nope, I still
Oh, well, but not if someone's sitting across from you on the table. Like how
never.
much time are you willing to take up of theirs? And I have pushed it. Like I mean, there hasn't been a camera on me my entire life, but I would not be surprised if I've made people wait like 20 plus minutes for maybe not Summoner Wars, but for something.
Or
Though
chess. I mean,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. I mean, now that I think about it,
But
I think my first Ice Ram Glacial Shift turn might have, like, that might have been like a notorious Ben just took 30 minutes on a turn or something.
yeah, this game sucks. Why does it take so long?
Yeah, confirmed.
Yeah, I was more inclined to do that when I was young. Oh, I'm gonna, regardless of what you want, I'm gonna make this the best possible decision.
Yeah. Well, it's
And then now it's like the nerves of, well, I don't want to make them wait. Like this is supposed to be fun for us, and you
exactly,
sitting there waiting. Is,
exactly.
yeah,
It's hard to like, I think I'm overwhelmed quickly as like a human being in general, or like
likewise.
when I'm like reading cards for the first time. it's just like I don't understand how the things work, and I don't want to like I don't want to start my turn and then realize halfway through, oh, that effect doesn't work how I thought it was. This turn is actually just crap. And so
It's
and
like
now
the fear of making mistakes, and because you have to sit with it like for the rest of the game, just like, yep,
yeah, yeah,
I did dumb.
and I think there was something like one of my first games of Summoner Wars, like I made a mistake because I misinterpreted a card, and like my friend was like, "Oh, like, it's just our first time. Like you don't need to take that back." And I was like so mad. I was like, "Just let me take it back. It's my first time. You're being so mean to me."
I I don't empathize with that. Like, let them take their turn back. What
Yeah,
you want them to be excited about playing and seeing the potential of
yeah, and that's
using your mind to. I don't know.
yeah. I mean,
It's different.
and I can definitely like to it in various places. I can say like, and I can have a lot of respect for people that just like, oh, I made a mistake. You know, just let it. It's just a game. Just let it lie. But definitely the way I am with Summoner Wars, at least, like when I'm playing in person, like I would honestly prefer if my opponent takes back a turn because I want them to play the best
Me
game they
too.
can. That's more fun.
Yeah, it
Like,
doesn't feel good when they catch something after the fact and you
yeah,
haven't rolled dice.
and
Bring it.
that's
Yeah.
yeah, and that's one of the things that the physical has over the digital as well. Is like you can just like you can change whatever you want in the physical. While the digital, sometimes someone makes a mistake, they forget to discard a card, and it's like, oh well, our game is now just the worst for it, and we don't have a dev option. I'd love that
There's
at
no
some point.
rolling it back, even if you both agree.
Yeah,
Um, it's the most peculiar design for the application and the way that they tried to get around all the functionality. It was just trying to prevent people from cheating, and it took away from all the options to make it easier to implement new capabilities.
yeah,
Um,
and I
I'm
mean,
very interested
yeah,
in that aspect of the game too. Um, just being a software engineer, like um,
yeah, for sure.
I'd love to understand, yeah, how their tech works. And,
I'm sure. I mean, Joe loves to chat about it. I'm sure you could. I'm sure you could get him talking, like, and ask him
oh, talk
questions on
to.
his blog and stuff.
I reached out to Colby, but I don't think he got back to me. He might not be as active as he used to
Yeah,
be, or
Colby.
I came across him wrong.
No, I don't. Colby doesn't interact as much online. I think like Joe and Nick do more. I don't. I don't know what's up with. I
Yeah,
mean, I think Colby just keeps to himself a fair bit.
yeah, that makes some sense. Would you do you want to play a quick one?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I
What
was.
do you think about it?
We just. Yeah, no. I'd have time for one more.
And then
If you're down for it, yeah, yeah, for sure.
kind of hoping my girlfriend's one of these three people here. I can't tell because I'm not logged in.
Yeah.
Why did you start streaming? What's your goal or your intention?
I think just to interact with people on online, like, because I mean, I spent so much time like chatting with people on the Discord and whatnot, and I just like finished college and was like, I want to play live games with people, basically, and just hoping to have a venue for that, and to like chat with people like over voice call, and I think to that extent, I'm very happy with it. Like I'm happy to be chatting with you right now. I'm happy that
Yeah.
you reached out and we're playing some live games. I think they're a lot of fun. So I'm happy with.
I was very impressed by your speaking skills, but mainly just the intent that you put in your questions and listening and giving thoughtful responses. I was always like, man, that was a really good question. That was really serious for talking about a game, and some people would potentially make fun of that. Like, why are you thinking so deeply about? It's just a card game on a board. But
Yeah. No, thank
but
you.
that's
That
the
means a
way
lot.
I think too. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I mean, I guess I'm just a massive nerd. Like I just every
Wow.
little move, I'm like, oh, why did they do that? I gotta ask them about that. Yeah, for sure.
Makes you wonder what you're not thinking of.
I know, right? Well, and it's
But
just
that
so much.
All
Uh,
right, you can. I think I picked. Oh, did you pick the last one?
I don't know.
Or
I'm happy to play
I'll play
whatever.
any faction. Yeah.
Uh,
Okay. Let's see.
me too. So that's a problem.
Mm, okay. Let me.
Um, yeah, I'm happy to play more base decks. Play the custom match we have queued. You
I
know,
want a
whatever
rematch against that stomping you gave me with the Phoenix Elves.
with the Phoenix Elves.
They're
Okay,
yeah,
same
they're
setup.
probably my worst. Yeah, yeah.
Awesome.
These yeah, the Obsidians and proved that it wasn't just a skill issue; it was also a dice issue.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Well, don't be offended when I crush you again. No, I'm joking.
But you probably will. I mean, you're a better player. But I
you know,
I'm happy to get my win so I can.
it's just a fun game. I mean that cloaked in Skysphere Avians like that easily. I mean, what there's literally a 34% chance you won the game outright. That one kill.
Right then and there for roll
Yeah,
for two.
yeah.
Beautiful. How much you just can't get cocky. And I also feel like the game has a soul, and it's not a good one. Like when it feels that you're getting too cocky and all
For
your
sure.
cards in for a
Yeah.
wipe.
I've gotten so superstitious with like the game is telling me whether I misplayed or not when I draw my cards, like whether I should have discarded or not.
Yeah, and you know it's just superstition, but you never know.
Huh. Wait, did I just what just happened? Oh no. Did we just get two games? Is your name Ava underscore
Oh,
SA?
I have two accounts, and this is my other. So I have Vlox
Gotcha.
TL and Ava SA. Yeah,
Did our games
but
just
I
duplicate?
accepted it. Well, that would be fascinating
I think
because
this is a
I
glitch that
have my
happens
phone.
sometimes.
Yeah. So what does that? What does that mean? Then we have two games going, but one's
Let's just
one of my users and one's the other.
no. I think we just have two games of the exact same matchup. Well, let's just pick one of them. We don't need to play both of them.
I
Uh,
would prefer to play on my main.
I think. I mean, okay, I could just concede these as two. So the two games I have, if you
Um,
just accept it as Phoenix Elves, that looks like that's against the Ava underscore
I just
Gasparian.
have the one, just one
What's
game
going on? Oh, you know, I should
with Ava, none with Vlogs.
here. I should be careful clicking on it. Okay, I'm gonna click on it real quick. So I guess look away from the screen on stream so you don't get spoiled.
I don't even have your stream up. Yeah.
Okay, awesome. Okay, I have one game against you, and then the other game, well, yeah, the other game is a different hand. Am I
So
crazy?
that's the Fallen Kingdom. We started that yesterday.
No, I think
Um,
you're gaslighting me right now. No, I have two games against you that are both Thunder Orcs
two.
versus Phoenix Elves.
Wait, what are you talking about? No.
Are you sure
Let me.
are you sure
Okay.
you don't see it if you go in your
I'll
own
send a
game?
screenshot.
Did
I've
you
refreshed. Yeah. So here, I
That's
don't know
so
how to make
well.
it.
So this is a glitch that I thought it only happened in public queue. There was one time I queued like 3 games and I ended up with like having 15 games total or something. Like I had some already, but like some of like my games duplicated like 4 times or something. Maybe try refreshing it. I don't know. Well, I'm just gonna pick one of these and
Oh,
I'm gonna.
believe me,
I don't
I
believe.
have one open as Ava, and that's fine. I don't care which one. But I needed a sandbox to test how things worked.
Yeah, no, myself is yeah no. I have a second account for like testing rules interactions basically.
I would hate to be accused of low inflating for having another one, but I start up a game and I'll quit once I figured out what I was trying to.
I mean, that's I do the exact same thing. I think Joe knows how to account for that. Because private games don't affect um private games don't affect your ELO, and I think Joe can like see in his statistics what's conceded. Okay, wait, you just sent me another link. Do you want me to
Oh, I'm sorry, that was supposed to be the screenshot.
ignore that? Um,
I had the screenshot in context of my clipboard, and
Gotcha.
I I was just proving that I don't have two games, just to find out that there's two games with the Ava account.
Haha,
Yeah,
I found you.
I re-
Well,
so yeah, okay.
there
That
you
time I
go.
put um the image has no games except that one we started yesterday. So
Gotcha.
I
Um,
can quit one of these. Be a
it's
lot
it's
managed.
fine. I'll here. One of them's about to be your turn, and that'll indicate which one you should play. Do I want to
Yeah,
save these? Let's yeah, screw it. Let's save them. All right. Well, one of those games should be your turn right now. Uh,
yeah. I'm on that one right now.
there we go. Do you wanna stay in voice call while we play, or you wanna just chat
We
afterwards?
can, let's,
Completely up
yeah,
to
we
you.
can try. Let's chat after.
Chat
I can
afterwards. Okay.
chit chat with my girlfriend here a little bit. So. All
Sounds
right.
good. All right. Yeah.
Yeah. All
I
right.
will.
Peace.
Peace. Bye. Good stuff. Oh, is the desktop audio? Okay. Hopefully, taking my turn didn't deafen you. Oh wait, no. Yeah, I don't. I need to figure out my sound audio because I had to turn them up a fair bit, but it definitely. I don't know. It sounds like Chairs is saying it looks fine. All right, we can turn sound effects back on though. Now, not deafen anybody. Um, do looks good. Yeah, so I held to. Why is that so loud? Ah, goodness. Because I turned up my own audio. Um, is that loud for you guys too? I don't think it is. I think it's output at a normal volume. Whatever. I'm gonna turn it down. I don't care. All right. That's a pretty good start. And yeah, so I kept two oaths once here. That's pretty crazy. Um, not. It feels really weird to keep two cards as balls are, and I feel like a lot of people wouldn't do that. And hey, I drew another Oathsworn to prove empirically that I misplayed. But boy, do I just like to get my Oathsworns out, you know? Like, it's good. I'm a big fan of Oathsworning it up. And we can get Balzar in there. I don't know, and we can discard the rest of these, I guess. Berserker could be swiped into Maul range, but I think in general we're pretty happy with this. Thank goodness they don't have Spirit of the Phoenix up. That's a pretty huge roll, and we get some boosts. Blood Bond. And the next one. No boosts. Oh well. And Blood Bond. Okay, I mean, I guess they can both be attacked, which would kind of suck. Hopefully we're fine. I think we'll keep another Oathsworn because they just Oathsworn seems like the best common. Like Oathsworn and Ember Guard seem like the two commons that you kind of play as many of you as you can. Huh, okay, we're gonna get a chance to put our money where our mouth is when it comes to putting pressure on this forward gate. Hopefully we have a target for Chains and Axe next turn. Yep, that's pretty. It's a pretty good play. Archer can like get in there. I wouldn't be surprised to see like this or something. I don't know, like just get in my face, stop my pressure. That makes sense too, though. to get the better attack on the Berserker. This play would have stopped some more pressure, but definitely understand it. Yeah, we're gonna see whether I can put my money where my mouth is when it comes to putting pressure on this gate. Probably not with Balzar right here and whatnot. Um, hmm, Probably just gonna have to attack the beast. Maul's undefended. I don't know if they thought that one through. I mean, if we hadn't discarded, if we still had like a beast in hand, that would be like 5 dice on Maul right now. If they missed this Berserker, that would be insane. That would be like actually nutso. It's definitely possible. Like Beast goes two for two. Beast goes 2 for 3. Archer goes 1 for 2. Come on. Yes, that is so good. Insane. And then Maul. I wonder if they thought they could attack with Maul or something. We'll judge based on how much time this takes. It's taking time. I think. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Oh, maybe they have blinding flare. I'm guessing that was somewhat a mistake. That's fine though. We take the mistakes. That's how we get our wins. We eat them up. Volkor is probably going bye-bye. But our other champions that we could draw could definitely be helpful here. Um, let's do it. Sometimes the turn just plays itself, you know? Any chance the Berserker could attack something better? Something. Nope. No point in building that. Oh, yes, there is a point in building. Build that axe. Oh, it's only 4 dice. That's fine now. I think I'm going to attack with the Sworn first. Just because I think, like, 5 dice, we're probably losing a boost anyway, and, like, I really want this beast to die, right? Like, if they have a Spirit of the Phoenix and it doesn't die, that Oathsworn could just get killed in the move phase. Um, Hopefully we get like another damage or two on the 10 health gate. Helps out. That's pretty sweet. Is there a world where we hold the gate in hand right now? Because Balzar kind of wants to push next turn. I think there is. Honestly, I'm gonna try it. Never really done that before, hold a gate in hand with Balzar. So let's see how it goes. Like, it feels a little bit bad because it's like, what am I gonna do? Like there and put a gate there? Like, it feels kind of like a non-entity, but if I go there, then Balzar is just straight like, I think it's actually probably a pretty good play. Like, if it's just straight pressure, you're just watching me figure out how to play Balzar live. That's just straight pressure onto this gate, so um yeah, could be good. Pretty good, killed the beast right away. I wonder if Mal would think of advancing. Let's have to see what they do with this. Yeah, because we're not giving them a ton of units to attack. So it feels like they sort of need to take more of a reposition, consider my life choices sort of turn. All right, probably Blinding Flare in hand if they're doing that. Quick shot. They're coming to me. They could die pretty easily. Probably will die if Moloch goes up 2 spaces. I'm not gonna lie to you. With Blast in hand, they don't stand a huge chance. Well, actually, because I don't know how many dice I could actually roll on them. Because if I would roll 5, but then I would probably lose a boost, and then I would only do 2 direct. So yeah, we'd have to see. Yeah, definitely a tough turn for them. Tough turn to think about. Oh yeah, no, that's the move for sure. Yeah, just I think that's probably what I mean, I'd probably do something more passive here because gotta be safe with Maul. I mean, I think you just want to put units in my face and just stop my advance and sort of have faith that you can win the late game, even if it can sometimes be tough if Balzar really pops off. You know, just kind of hope that he doesn't. And like in general, losing value by playing units, so just hope to capitalize on that. Sort of like the same shtick playing against cave goblins and whatnot. Move Mal up, move Mal up, move Mal up, move Mal up, move Mal up. Yes. Feel me. Do it, you coward. Because even with blinding flare, there's a decent chance she's dead. Maybe not. Maybe not. No, you coward. Do it. Do it. Do it. No. Come on. Come on. What's the worst that could happen? Just do it. You won't regret it. I promise. I promise. If we had willpower right now, that would be like GG if she moved up. Yes. Come on. You got this. I believe in you. Keep going. Probably gonna call that beast. I'll have to ask him how much they've played against Balzar because I could see like they're not maybe they're not too familiar with Balzar's threats and whatnot. Ooh, burning that down, just attacking my gate, putting pressure on the gate. I might not bother with that and just like shoot the boy. Um, and then you're gonna pull something. Yep. I wonder. I wonder if we. I honestly don't know what the dice are. Like, do we want to attack first or do we want to damage first? I really don't know. It's a tough one. Um, like, so do we want to blast and then attack or attack and then blast? If we use the demon and we put the chains on it, we're rolling 5 special dice. So, okay, let's look at it. So the odds of 5. Okay, this actually should be objective. So 5 special dice, or it should be easy to determine. 5 special dice, odds of doing 2 damage are 2. So if we attack first, or sorry, if we explode first and then attack, odds, if we explode first and then attack with the demon and Balzar, we get 5 special dice, so we have 53% chance of killing. If we attack with Balzar first and the demon and then explode, we get 3 more dice, but now we have to do 3 damage with them. Let's see, and not necessarily, it could be better. 3 damage, 52% chance. Oh, whoops. So what was it? 52 versus 53. Okay, because it's only slightly worse, it is better for us to do this anyways. Because our demon won't die. Oof, my computer is not taking the heat right now. Our demon will not die, and we can hopefully get a spicy kill here. I decided to summon that guard because I realized how much damage I'm doing to everything. Yeah, and we just wiped their whole board. I think this is probably, even if we don't get the kill, I'm realizing this is probably GG. And if Balzar gets the boost out of this, that's also probably GG. Let's see it. 4 damage. Oh, that's so mean. Volcanic blast. That's a really good roll. 4-2. they respond, dude, what? You're never safe. Ugh. uh, Balzar cannot be blinded. Um, I mean, so there's a 50% chance to get that kill, but definitely feels bad when it's a four special. Let me send a quick message. A funny game. Balzar, Balzar got the juice, etc. Vlox says 4% chance on that. Um, yeah, no, that was definitely rare. Let's play another quickie and I'll be responsible at hitting off. Okay, sweet. We will play one more quick game. Just give it a second to set it up. Let's see what matchup we're gonna play. And look at all these games. We should probably play some of those too. Same, please. All right. They want to keep them rolling. Keep the pain train. Pain train continues. All right, let's do it. Balzar. 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 God, Balzar is just so hard for me to play. It's just like, it feels like I'm taking so many risks always. And it just doesn't feel like they're gonna pay off. But they sure can. And they're a lot of fun. Weird that we got the duplicating games glitch over there. And let's see it. Can Balzar go 3-0? Or is our luck gonna run out? And just another second. Another second or two. We'll get set up. Could go peek at some other turns while we're at it, but probably best if we don't. Gotta keep my game face on. Gotta be ready for this. Why do there so many games queued? Why do I always do this? It's so nice that so many people are willing to play live games. I don't feel like I need to queue as many. Um, I don't need to queue as many ranked games just to have something to do during my streams. I appreciate it. This is not the right game. Ooh, this game is not going so well though. I'll tell you that. Where's the right game? There we go. All right, probably same opening. It's a little bit of a weird opening, but kind of like it. Probably the same opening we had last time, even. Um, oh, my computer! I gotta. One day, I promise. I gotta just stop complaining about it too. One day, I promise, I will be using a better system here. Huh, I wonder. Like, I have another computer set up. I'm gonna try to stream. It'll be slightly better quality. I guess the Berserker is already. It's better to just get some damage on the 10 health gate, right? Yeah, it's fine. We'll damage the guard a little bit, but guard's kind of weak. No one cares about the guard. I'd rather put the chains on the unit that's gonna like die, right? Um, is it worth summoning Ember Guard just to cycle my hand? It might be. It might be. Normally, I wouldn't. Yeah, it's probably not in this case because I probably like just that spot isn't going to be very good for it. Yeah, let's see it. Hopefully, get some specials. What a chill stock and roll. Blue, blue, blue. Attack, attack. They say, please whiff something. I did. See, I whiffed. I got a 1 out of 2. All right, good stuff. I think we discarded 1 guard. I think I got to get my discard engine turning a little bit, but I want to keep on one of them. Um, all right, guard is coming down. It's exposed, but Mal is hopefully able to pull it back. So it won't be too exposed. Mal can get the kill on that guard over there or something. The weird part about that play is not advancing with Balzar, but just occupying both of these spots is so good for me that I really wanted to do it. Like, I don't want to just occupy this spot, because then it's just very easy to shove it into Maul range. And that's real bad for me. They ask, how about that gate? Um, it definitely slows down my pressure. Um, I could see it. I'm just sending them. Yeah, I think that gate, it's easy to blow up, but it definitely slows down my pressure. I think I probably would have kept that gate over there, just to have better ranged lines with Mao. I think, because this is just very easy, easy for me to occupy. I'm just sending that to them as well. Yeah, I probably would have put that gate over there, but I mean, it seems to be working out for you. Uh, we got the forge. Just one second, sending a message. Yeah, this is a tough turn. Sorry, I'm just like sending all of my thoughts to them directly. Uh, like anywhere I go, is just exposed immediately. Like no matter which gate I head up to. Um, I wonder if Balthar attacks anything. I mean, I think I maybe try to like advance. Like I could advance with a unit here and a unit here, and then just like not attack anything. I don't know. It's kind of silly. Maybe Balzar attacks this gate. Um, or I just like advance and occupy. Probably thinking too long. Um, I kind of just like the advance and occupy strategy. I mean, they can push something into Mal, but we can slowly creep our way forward into the winning zone. Okay, this is a different game, so we can probably discard the Forge, even though it makes me a little bit sad too. Um, yeah, hopefully we don't roll two specials here. And just damage some gates and say, hey, you know, you gotta, hey, like I'm fine to, since I'm occupying the gates, you gotta come to me. It's a little bit changed just by the fact they can shove this Oathsworn into Maul range, but I'm not too upset about that. I wonder if I ever, I feel like I want to hold on to this gate, and Axe is such a strong card. I feel like I want to hold on to that as well. I could really regret it. I'm gonna be a little bit greedy though. And I don't regret it. That's the perfect hand for this. I am very happy with that. Computer, run better. I'm sorry. Please. Yeah, it's a little bit like I could have just decided to stay on one side, but I didn't like the play where Balzar was just like going over here, because then it was just like, I'm just inviting them to have whatever fun they want over there. And I like this play sets up for me to do a bigger advance next turn. Maybe move Mal to the side and Mal finishes off the Oathsworn. Could be pretty good. Ooh, Mal getting the burn is pretty nice. Yeah, I can attack, pull something up there. Should be pretty safe. I like it. Yeah, I like it a lot. I mean, we might be able to get an Oathsworn attack through to Maul. Might even be able to get like an Ember Guard through to Maul, but yeah, probably not because we don't have a guard in hand. So I like it a lot. I guess the chains will be pretty good at attacking Maul actually, but that's fine. Probably pull the full health guard over. And we can put a gate up there. We want to think long and hard about where. Oh, blinding flare. Interesting. No flare? You madman. You absolute madman. Um, you absolute madman. Just gonna leave everything over there without a flare. All right, all right, all right. All right. Let's just like mega punish and double axe. Yeah, this is insane. This is quite the punish. Um, definitely. I wonder if they forgot to play a flare there or something. Uh, definitely like gotta be a bit more careful against like obsidian dwarves. Like I could easily just like blow if I had a volcanic blast right now, like Mal could easily be dead. Lots of bad things could be happening. Hopefully we don't kill our own the Ember Demon, though if we do, who cares? It's fine. Wait, that's not how that works. Put it over there. There we go. And then build a gate over there. Should be fine. Oathsworn can attack that gate too. Ember Demon goes first. It's for 4. Berserker goes second. It's for 4. Oathsworn goes third. And like debatably, this Oathsworn doesn't even want to attack this gate, but I think it's like we're gate buster. We're busting gates. Now like their spots where they can spawn gates are it's less of them. There's definitely arguments to be had for either play. They say you definitely have a bee blast cooking. You know, if I did, um, would have probably would have played it there. I'll be honest. I mean, cooking, it's not bad too. And no, we sure do. We sure do have 2 blasts cooking at this point. Yeah, it's a tough turn for them. I'll have to respond to this. I mean, Maul probably moves back 2 spaces and you pray. Probably praying is the strat here. Yeah, Vanessa moves up. Easy. Easy. And you burn the Sworn Berserker. If you burn the Berserker dies. Yeah, I'd burn the Berserker. Pretty good. I'd definitely be pretty scared if they start picking off my units here. Huh. My internet connection looks like it's having some problems. Keeps dipping into the dropping frames. Still overall is doing good. I'm not sure what's happening there. Hopefully, I figure that out eventually. Maul has got to go back. Gotta go back. Can't stay within 2 of Balzar or you just lose. Yep, seems good. Gosh, my internet. Oh, I'm so sorry that I'm just like commenting on my internet connection. I wish that wasn't a problem, but it's been like every once in a while through this whole stream, it'll just like drop a few frames and it's like, ah, whatever, you know. A little bit of buffering every like 20 minutes is fine. But dropping into the red every 3 or 4 seconds, on the other hand, is not fine. Well, sorry if you're watching and it's buffering right now. I don't know. That's what's going on with that. Hopefully I can fix that sometime soon. I might just need to like restart my router. Though I was having problems the other day, and restarting my router thought it would fix, or didn't fix it. I don't know. Alright, not in Volcanic Blast dead range. And can pull Finessa. Pull the guard. Looks good. Looks pretty good. Blinding Flare. I wonder, do we still try to get dice on Maul? Should I just go for the Oathsworn dice? Probably worth it. Like, get a blast in there. Oh, and with the willpower, we can probably get a kill here. Oh, well, we have to kill the guard. Okay, well, that makes it tougher. I don't know, you know, just yeah, just have fun, you know? Fun is the excuse for all misplays. I'm just gonna have fun. We're chilling. Get a bunch of specials. Easy. So easy. So easy. Wow. Blinding Flare has not been safe recently. There's been a disturbing lack of safety for players who are using Blinding Flare. And by players, I mean my opponent. Sucks. Alright, let's see it. We get 6 shots at doing 1 damage. And there it is. GG.